TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. If I ain't got you, ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like, baby. You don't know what it's like.
All new Renault Capture SUV for all your lives.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Blue Ribbon of Westmeath GAA football, the county senior football final here in TG Cusick Park between St. Lomans, Mullingar and Tyrrellspass. I'm delighted to be joined here on Airview TV this afternoon by Alan Mangan and by Paula Hearn here on my right hand side, and really looking forward to this one, Alan. A lot of build up to this game, I suppose. Shortened championship, but it's still a county title at the end of the day, and both looking to win, to bring this cup back home, the Flanagan Cup back home to one of these clubs tonight.
Absolutely, Paul, and it's big rivalry between the two of these. I know myself, I was involved with Tyrrellspass for a couple of years and a couple of finals, and listen, let's be fair about it, the two best teams in the county are in the county final, and they have been over the last number of years, obviously apart from maybe last year and the year before with Shamrocks getting their act together and Gary Castle, but these are the two pinnacle teams in the county, and we're in for a right good game today.
Yeah, and Paul, speaking of that, that's what we're hoping for. We've had 3 great finals here so far this weekend, and that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for a really good game here today more than anything else.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's, unless you're from Lomans or Tyrrellspass, you want both teams to be winning comfortably the whole way through, but for the rest of us watching it, really, really competitive game, like you'd love to see, really coming down to the wire and getting in the mix in the last 5 or 10 minutes and seeing who really stands up and brings it home from that point of view. But definitely, the two, as Alan said, the two formed teams really throughout, apart from the first round where they played each other, that was probably the big difference between the teams in that sort of sense. But really, today, ideal conditions for football, a bit of a breeze blowing down into the apartment end, but apart from that, it's ideal really, Alan, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, we're in for a cracking encounter, I'd say, and it's going to be two teams and they're flooded with inter-county players, so it's a good spectacle hopefully ahead of us.
Yeah, and we're just going to take a little route through their road to the final here, lads. St. Lomans have been fairly comfortable, I suppose you could say it so far. They've had probably a handier run into it, although they almost got caught, Alan, I suppose, in that semi-final against the Downs. who led for a long periods of the game.
Yeah, well, the Downs went 6 points to no score up, and then unfortunately for the Downs, they missed a couple of goal chances at a crucial time that would have put them maybe 1-6 or 2-6 to no score up. But Lomans are Lomans, and you can't sit back in your laurels and think that a lead is good enough. And they just clawed it back, and they just proved how good they have been over the last number of years, where they just clawed it back, and eventually they got on top near the end. But to be fair, the Downs could have beaten them, but I think probably the best team on the day won.
Yeah, and speaking of Tyrrellspass, of course, Lomans and Tyrrellspass have played each other in the group game here earlier on, Paul. Very comfortable in for St. Lomans, that they borne out by an absolutely lightning start that really shook Tyrrellspass at the core, I suppose.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, I think there was 14 points difference between them in the first round, but to be honest, I wouldn't read a huge amount into it. What do you call it? You know, it was the first round. Most teams had very, very little work done, and you know, as championships go on, it's about really gaining momentum, getting comfortable with your game plan, and how you go forward from there. You know, I think in Lomans' games, 2 or 3 of the games have started like really, really hot and scored 2 or 3 goals. I remember the Clucan game, you know, they were 3-1 up. 3 goals and a point to no score up after 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And, you know, so they do have these purple patches very, very early in the game. I think, you know, for Tyrrellspass, they've got to keep it very, very tight early on to you know, stay with it and try and close it down. And, you know, when Lomans get a purple patch, which they will, is be able to ride it, not concede too many goals. I think that's the key, really.
Yeah, and speaking of those purple patches, we're looking at the video there of St. Lomans. The St. Lomans, really, their style of play and the way they've played so far in this championship, Alan, and it's been all about their forward line. I suppose we've called them on many occasions here, in particularly on ERV TV, Ronan O'Toole, who is the puppet master really for the St. Lomans. He's the fulcrum, he's the guy, the go-to guy more than anything else, I suppose.
Yeah, listen, it's all about, when it comes to Lomans and their attack and play, it's all about these two lads. It's all about Ronan O'Toole and John Heston. They're trying to get as much ball through the hands of Ronan as they can. He's probably the foreign player in the county at the moment, and Tyrrellspass are going to, like, I'm pretty sure that Emma McDonald and his backroom team will have their work done on the two of them, and try and, like, the 81% of scores have come through the two lads. Now, let it be indirectly or directly. Six frees.
Which is a very unusual statistic, I suppose, with John Heston in your team to have only scored 6 frees, you know?
Yeah, well, that's just the last 2 games now. That's just the quarter-final and the semi-final. But listen, it just goes to show they've scored 11 points between them from playing 2 matches, and they've assisted 10 other scores. So it's for Tyrrellspass, it's all about trying to stop these two lads.
Yeah, and if they do stop them, Paul, I suppose the only real frailty, I suppose, that we can see from St. Thomas so far is defensively they have conceded an awful lot of scores, particularly in second and third quarters of games, maybe, and they're relying on their bench, in particular, particularly in the semi-final. They relied on the introduction of Paddy Dowdle, who was absolutely outstanding when he came on, because they were in serious trouble at half time in that semi-final.
Yeah, and in the quarter final as well, Paul. What do you call it? Like the introduction
against Calucan,
against Calucan, really steadied their defence. And you know, I suppose if you're trying to pick a weakness for Lomans so far, it's been they've been a little bit open at the back, and when teams run at them, they've been able to create opportunities. But in saying that, you know, since the quarter final, they've Ryan Jones in their centre back, they've Paddy Dowdle coming back into the setup. That's certainly tightened them up an awful lot.
Yeah, and it's their scoring ability, as we can see here. Yeah. Once they get in front of goal, they're fairly clinical, Alan, aren't they? I mean, they're a joy to watch at times, but at the same time, there are patches where I won't say switched off, but it doesn't come as easy to them as it does at other stages of it. And if you close down Ronan O'Toole, like, they're not really the force that they normally are.
No, they're not, but then you have to think that these lads are after losing 2 or 3 top class forwards, and Ken Casey, who's out injured. They had Shane Dempsey as well. These are 2 right good players.
TJ Cox, who didn't play in the semi-final.
TJ Cox now is not available for today either, by all accounts. So like it's all about trying to get the ball to the right man in the right position all the time, and for Lomans they do normally get that right. They're trying to get Ronan and John onto the end of things, but they have a couple of other forwards, like this young Fiona O'Hara is probably the next big thing going to come through Westmeath. Now I know his first senior game was the semi-final, but I'm looking forward to seeing how well he does today.
That's if he stays with us, I suppose. I suppose rugby is calling him there a little bit as well, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, Fiona's an outstanding talent, and you know he's got talent, you know, football and rugby, and you know I suppose he's benefited a little bit from the lockdown in terms of those Leinster players have been released back to be able to play whatever sport they can. From that point of view, he's comfortable under high ball. He's very, very, very comfortable left foot, right foot, and he brings an added dimension to that inside line with John Heston in beside him. you could see a lot of high diagonal balls going into the
Yeah, and an unsung player, of course, for St. Lomans Mullingar this year has been Sam McCartan, in my opinion. He's been more than an apt in getting on an awful lot of possession and getting it through into that forward line. Into the likes of Ronan and into the likes of John Haslin.
Yeah, he's a good player, a good ball player. I've seen him playing this year with the Westmeath under-20s, and he's a great man to get on ball and spread around and working hard. But then you've also they've a dynamite midfield in Sean Flanagan and Fola, who's well able to drive forward, and then you have probably Kelvin Riley pulling the strings in the backs as well.
Yeah, and we've spoken about Kelvin Riley as well on numerous occasions here in our commentary as well. He is that fulcrum there for them in the defence, which has been shaky at times, Paul. And if there is a fear for St. Lomans today, I suppose it is their defensive frailties that have shown up on a number of occasions.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have occurred, but I'm sure they've been doing work on that over the last 2 weeks and really tightening it up. And you can see some of the changes they've made in the back line. Paddy Dowdy starts today, Ryan Jones coming in. That'll tighten it up and give them more of a platform to be able to operate on. And with the threats that Tyrrellspass can offer going forward, particularly with Jerry Egan, but David Lennon in there as well. That's something they may not have experienced before, and they'll really have to kind of focus on being solid at the back and then using the platform they have going forward to create and scoring opportunities.
Yeah, and speaking of that evergreen Paddy Dowdle, Alan, an absolute Trojan servant to both this club, St. Lomans Mullingar, and of course the Clonkill and the hurling as well. Came on the semi-final last week, turned the game almost.
Yeah, absolutely. And sure, listen, in terms of this county, this man's a legend. There's not too many lads that are week or year in, year out nearly contesting both county finals, and this lad will set the tone today. He's not going to come in now and just sit there and hope.
And a leader as well, Alan, on the pitch. Very much a leader. He drags players around him to come into the game.
He's not going to sit there now and hope that other lads do his job for him. He will be the one to lay down a marker, and Tyrrellspass are going to have the same the other end with Jamie Gnood and Conor Slevin. They're going to try and set down markers very early.
Yeah, and speaking on Tyrrellspass, we're going to look at a few highlight reels from Tyrrellspass from their couple of games so far. I suppose after their initial defeat, Paul, it was. We talked to Emmett McDonald beforehand, and he said it was a shot in the dark. I suppose the first one, it was a free hit, was actually the words he used on us. And since that, they have been really, really impressive.
Yeah, no, I think the couple of times I've seen them on these games, actually tactically they're set up very, very well. They get bodies back behind the ball, look to turn it over and look to break at pace and get early ball into Jerry Egan. And one of the standouts for me is Dennis Lennon, probably most noted as a forward, a full forward, a corner forward, shooting out in front, winning ball, taking on his man, popping it over the bar. But in certainly in this championship, his ability, his work rate back defensively has been absolutely huge. And I remember him, I think in one of the games, he caught a high ball coming into the square, drove out and set up an attack for Tyrrellspass.
And in that semi-final, they were pushed all the way by Athlone, who had a lightning start here in that first game, but they never panicked. And I have to agree with Paul, and to a certain extent, that Dennis Clennon has almost played as a defender this year. I've never seen it so much in my life, and has played very well there in that defence.
Absolutely, but I remember back in playing with Dennis with Westmeath that Paddy O'Shea would always say that this lad's probably one of the best tacklers that he's ever come across. When he wanted to tackle, he was just unbelievable. And I think Tyrrellspass are reaping the benefits of that this year. But in terms of Tyrrellspass, Lomans are going to put big pressure on their kick-out. The primary possession has been key for Tyrrellspass in the last number of years, and Darren Quinn's kick-out has been phenomenal in terms of gaining possession. Athlone put massive pressure on that for the first 15 minutes the last day, and they ended up reaping the rewards and getting a good.
Probably just didn't score enough with that possession.
Well, they probably missed a goal chance and went over the bar another couple of sessions, but in fairness to them, they will. I'd say Lomans will put massive pressure on this kick-out.
Yeah, and looking at the possession, we're looking at possession stats here that we have for Dennis and Ger in both games, first half and second half. You can see forward play and defensively, they're getting on an awful lot of ball, Alan.
Yeah, Dennis did an awful lot more bursting forward in the second half than he did in the first. In the first half, he was trying to probably sit more than attack, and in the second half, he was getting ball and he was driving out with it. This man will probably set the tone for Tyrrellspass today in terms of how they'll approach the game, and it's going to be down to the other lads to roll in behind them.
And it's great to see Dennis back playing, and Jamie Gnood, I suppose, after his injury nightmare last year, and Jerry Egan for that extent as well, Paul. An injury nightmare really last year, and it's great to see them back playing and to be back in a county final again.
Oh yeah, like I mean, you know, when you saw the injuries some of those boys have gone through, and to be back playing at such a high standard and really influencing games and commanding games and the way they've approached them is great, and it's testament to the kind of resilience that they have to be able to kind of put the head down, work through their rehab and so on and so forth, and get back here to the final.
Yeah, and I suppose they haven't been here for a couple of years, but at the same time, they're still the team that are knocking on the door the whole time. You know, if you take the big town teams out of it, Tyrrellspass are probably the only other, shall we say, rural side that are really contesting for the Flanagan Cup year in, year out. And these guys have huge experience, Alan, as well.
Yeah, but these guys at Purry feel themselves that they don't have as many championships as the Purry should have. Like, they were knocking on the door and they were coming up short. But like, if anyone deserves to win a championship, there's only about 3 or 4 of them that have championship medals. So a lot of these lads will deserve them, but no one's just going to hand you a championship medal at the end of the day.
No, and of course, St. Lomans have huge pedigree in that regard. Having contested, I think it's nearly the last 6. Is it the last 6 finals? I think they've contested. They've lost the last 2. That will be a driving force for them as well, Paul. But it's huge experience for these lads as well.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, playing in big games and in tight contests when the game is on the line at the highest level, you know, you can't get that experience in training. You just have to go through it, making mistakes, understand what it takes to be able to get yourself in the game, even when it's bypassing you from that point of view.
Yeah, another unsung hero, I suppose, for Tyrrellspass this year has been Adam Flanagan at the centre of the field. We've been knocked out, Paul, on a couple of occasions that we've commentated on him, with his fielding ability, and his distribution has been excellent, in fairness to him. A bit of a find, I suppose, for the tidy town.
Yeah, and like Alan was talking about the importance of the restarts and the kickouts. You know, I think it's crucial for both teams. You know, if you were to look at them both, they both have, you know, opportunities to put pressure on each other's kickouts. You know, Fola for Lomans, he's certainly very comfortable under the high ball. But then, you know, you look at Dennis and Adam Flanagan out there around. You know, they're very comfortable in terms of competing for those high balls. I think, you know, in the middle third, I think the breaking ball is going to be critical, because that gives you the platform to go forward, or you're under pressure straight away. So I think really looking at that from that point of view, you know, getting in and swamping that midfield, and going from there.
Another player that I've been really impressed with this year, Alan, we've talked about him earlier, Nigel Hart playing at centre back has been a revelation, particularly after the first game, I suppose. He didn't have his best game that night, nor I suppose did any of the Tyrrellspass boys, but Nigel Hart has stood up since that time.
Yeah, Nigel was particularly impressive the last day. He was the driving force, especially in the second half for Tyrrellspass, as was Dean McNicholas at wing forward. Like, Dean McNicholas is an unsung hero as well. But it's all, for this Tyrrellspass team, it's all about breaking out of defence quickly and trying to get quick ball as possible in on top of David Glennon. David Glennon was the fulcrum of bringing Tyrrellspass back into the game in the semi-final by winning loads of ball out in front, and Jerry Egan coming around him on the loop. They must have scored 4 or 5 points between them last day from playing the second half. But listen, it's going to be a classic encounter of two teams that know each other so well, and they're going to try and get the best out of one another.
And speaking of knowing each other so well, Paul, Tyrrellspass have a fairly good record against St. Lomans, apart from this year, the opening game this year. Like, I mean, it's been ding-dong battles between them for over the last number of years.
Yeah, no, they've been very, very close, and I think, you know, they've had 3 county finals between them, and, you know, Lomans have come out on top, but they're all incredibly competitive from that point of view. And, you know, look, I think, you know, with finals, it's really about being in the games, trying to set the tempo, being comfortable on the ball, reacting really positively to anything that might go wrong for you, and going back again. And, you know, really, you know, I think Lomans will be looking to start very, very fast, like they have in a lot of games. I think Tyrrellspass will be looking to keep it very, very tight early on, be in the game, and grind them down. And it'll just be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and of course, managers are going to play a huge part of this game today. Emmett MacDonald from Tyrrellspass, of course. And first, we'll go to our interview. We interview both of them. First, we'll go to Declan Kelly, first year as manager of St. Lomans. So we'll be back with you in a second, and we'll hand you over now to our manager interviews. Declan Kelly first for St. Lomans.
Kelly here in TG Cusick Park before today's final. Declan, your first final in Westmeath, you looking forward to it?
Yeah, looking forward to it, yeah. It's weather is brilliant. You can't ask for this time of year, you couldn't ask for better, and obviously it's different times, obviously, with not much of a crowd going to be here today, but delighted to be here, and the club's delighted to be here, yeah. Brilliant, looking forward.
Yeah, and the preparation's gone well for you in the last couple of weeks since your semi-final win?
Yeah, good, all going well, in fairness. Yeah, everything's gone well. It's a quick turnaround, which it has been all year, but enough things have gone well again, yeah.
But your junior team beaten yesterday in the final, but you would have had a lot of those lads training, which I'm sure to build up to this anyway.
Yeah, good core of them have been training all year, in fairness to them, and So yeah, we're clear. We're on the day. We're a better team. We're fairly strong all year. But they done very well. Yes, in fairness to them, on the day they done very well.
And you'll be hoping for the direct opposite result here today, of course.
Hopefully, but it won't be a lot in it. It won't be a lot in it now at the end of it all.
And come here, have you everyone fit and available? What way are you fitness wise?
Everyone's fit. Everyone's available from the same panel of players ready since the semi-final. So we're lucky enough that way.
Okay, well, look at Declan. Thanks very much for joining us here on your VTV. We'll let you go back to your team. Thanks a lot, Declan.
Thanks very much, lads. Take care.
We're joined now by Emmett MacDonald here in TG Cusick Park before today's county final. Emmett, looking forward to today's match?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a much nicer day than the semi-final where the wind was blowing strongly down the field, so it's very nice conditions in here today.
And come here, how have things gone for you in the preparations the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, gone very well, very low key. We sort of kept our head to the ground now and very low key preparations.
The town was driving through the town there regularly in the last week. Great lot of support being shown by the community up there in Tyrrellspass.
Huge community, and huge donations of food and gear, etc. towards the team over the last couple of weeks there. So fantastic community there in Tyrrellspass, and it'd be great now for the whole community to pull this off today.
And you're probably going in as underdogs here today.
There's no doubt we're going in as underdogs. Every article I read and everyone we talk to is writing us off. So that's exactly where we want to be. We're happy with that tag.
And come here, everyone fit and available and ready for action today?
Yeah, everyone's good to go now. For the first time, we've everybody fit and ready to go.
All right, Emmett, we'll let you go back and do your warm up with your team. Thanks very much for joining us here on your VTV.
Thanks, lads. Thanks, Benny.
Yeah, you're very welcome back here to TG Cusick Park for this afternoon's Shea senior football final between St. Lomans, Mullingar and Tyrrellspass, and I'm delighted Paul Ahern's gone back up to do his duties as reporter-in-chief along with Ray Gavin here for commentary, and I'm joined by topic reporter Paul O'Donovan. Paul, you're very welcome here this afternoon.
Thanks very much, Paul.
A couple of changes on both sides here. I see Rory Sheehan is out for St. Lomans and Paul Whelan is out as well. Paddy Dowdall, who we expected might start, is starting, and also starting is Conrad Riley. No real surprise there, I suppose, Paul.
No, I suppose you're looking at that and you're probably saying straight away possibly Lomans have lost their impact sub. Paddy Dowdall, he's done very well, both hurling and football coming on in both semi-finals, and having a very steady influence in the second half of both games. Steadying the ship and bringing all that experience. He's, I think, 13 county medals at this stage, and that's great. Now he's going to be starting, so if Lomans are in trouble and they're looking to the bench, he's the one that has helped them out the last couple of games. So but he's certainly he'll bring that experience from the start. It's a huge boost them coming in, and then of course Conrad again, huge fast experience. Worth a couple of scores in that forward line. And that's what Lomans are good at, they're good at picking off their scores, and they'll certainly bring that to the game today.
Yeah, and Tyrrellspass, Alan, a couple of late changes in the Tyrrellspass team. Number 22, Jamie Corcoran starts instead of Kieran Corcoran, and number 18, Philly Sheridan is in for Tommy Ryan. Would they be ones that you would have expected, maybe?
Well, it's Kieran Geraghty actually that's in.
Sorry, Kieran Geraghty.
Kieran Geraghty's in. Well, Kieran Geraghty came on the last hill and scored 3 points from playing the second half against Athlone and played reasonably well. Played very well actually, and it's probably a change that I thought could have been possible. Tommy, maybe not too much ball went into him. In fairness, he probably feels a little bit let down that he's not starting. But Jamie Corcoran in corner back. Jamie will be a very quick young lad. He's only 18 or 19 years of age, extremely quick. So he's probably been brought in there for his pace, maybe picking up Fionn O'Hara.
Possibly, or maybe even on the opposite side of the field. He could be picking up the opposite side of the field there with Peter Foy, or maybe even Sam McCartney go out that far onto the field.
Yeah, well, I would say that I wouldn't say that Peter will spend too much time in there now. To be honest, I'd say Peter will come out the field. He played wing back last year in a county final in Longford, so I presume he'll be going out the field.
Yeah, and Paul, both teams were probably as strong as we could be expected on it. I'd say Rory Sheehan is a major loss to St. Lomans, I suppose, as well, but even having said that, 2 strong teams going into this final.
Yeah, 2 very strong teams. The one player you'd probably pick out that's missing today is probably TJ Cox for St. Lomans.
Yeah.
He's been he gives a new dimension to the team there in the forward line. He's always worth, he's goal hungry, gets his goals, takes a score. He's lively, he's fast, and they'll certainly,
and a good distributor of the ball as well when he does get into it.
Yeah. So they'll miss him. And previously, although not this year, Ken Casey's also been good for Lomans. So they're forward. It's a change there in the forwards in the department, but there's still plenty of potential there for scores for Lomans.
Yeah, and on both sides, I suppose, plenty of potential on scores. Or Dean McNicholas, I suppose, as well, for Tyrrellspass, if they get into a slight bit of trouble. Dean McNicholas has been in good scoring form and good form in general.
Yeah, well,
the
scores the last day were spread around a lot with Tyrrellspass, and Dean McNicholas popped up with 3 points from play the last day in the second half. And they'll be looking to Dean, and they'll be looking to David Glennon and Gerard in particular. But Kieran Gurry, he'll be able to pull off a few. So Tyrrellspass have 4 forwards that are well able to pop ball over the bar, and maybe if you throw Dennis in there coming up the field, might get 1 or 2 as well. So this will be an awful lot closer, and a lot of people are predicting an easy win for Lomans, but this will be an awful lot closer than people think.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Paul, there's varying opinions on how this game is going to go. I have my own opinion, I suppose, on this one. I'm not going to share it, but I am going to tip one side. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Who do you think is going to win the 2020 COVID final?
Well, if you're looking for a one-word answer, I'll give you that in a second. I think it's going to be very close. I certainly don't think it'll be one-sided. There's going to be very little in it. I think Tyrrellspass have a fantastic chance. I think it's going to be a great tactical battle. And you know, the likes of looking at Tyrrellspass in the midfielder, where's Dennis Glennon, where's he going to play? He's played deeper this year, and he's been very effective back, collecting a lot of high ball in there. Adam Flanagan comes out to midfield and that. You know, you're looking at, you know, the midfield battles. I think it's fascinating. You've Fola comes in and out of games. He's hot and cold. You know, they're going to get 60 minutes out of him. You know, Sean Flanagan's more consistent there. Ronan or two, you know, he'd be the playmaker for Lomans, you know.
Yeah.
If he plays well, you know, they'll be in top
They generally
form.
play well, yeah.
Absolutely. If you want me to put my head in the block, I'm giving the narrow vote to St. Lomans, but just
okay.
very, very
narrow vote to St. Lomans from Paul O'Donovan.
I got the Mort. I called Mort yesterday, so we'll see.
I called Mort yesterday as well, just so that it's the first prediction I've got right all year.
That's correct.
Just so that, and we had a pre championship little bit of a tipster competition. Alan, you and I were involved in it, and Mort were the only thing I've got right so far this year. So I'm going to put your head in the block. Give me a winner today.
Listen, it's going to come down to how well the matchups go for each team. You're going to probably have Jamie Ganood picking up John Heslin, and you probably have Conor Clevin picking up Ron O'Toole. I think the game will rely on them 2 battles, to be honest. If Tyrrellspass can come to terms with them 2 lads, I think that I'm going to go against a lot of people's opinions. I think Tyrrellspass might just shade this.
So that's Tyrrellspass from Alan Mangan. That's St. Lomans from Paul O'Donovan. I'm not going to sit in the fence. I was accused of this tonight. We're above there and in Clarksbar doing this one. I'm going to tip just by the narrowest of margins. I'm going to tip St. Lomans. So it's 2-1 now. We're going to tip St. Lomans, but I expect it to be a good final, and I hope it's a great final. That's the most important thing today. We need an advertisement for Westmeath football in what has been very, very trying years, Alan.
Yeah, we need an advertisement for GAA in general. I think it's a little bit disappointing that we can't have at least 500 people in a ground like this. It's perfect for holding with social distancing, but unfortunately there are the rules, and I'm hoping for a fantastic game of football here today. Let's hope it's very close encounter and it goes down to the wire. And listen, if it does that, then we'll all be happy. I know the Tyrrellspass and Lomans fans will obviously be hoping that their team wins. But if we get a right good game of football here, I think anyone that's watching it on ERV TV or anyone that's here today will enjoy it.
And Paul, the same, I presume, from you.
Yeah, I just want to say, Paul, like in you know, when you think of the circumstances this year and all that's happened, I think the championship to date has been great.
Absolutely.
The format of the championship has been great. Every game has counted. Every game has mattered. Teams that thought they were getting into quarterfinals
and no meaningless fixtures.
Matches. Absolutely. And you know, it's been a great championship, and let's hope today just finishes that off with another good quality game. And you know,
may the best team win.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it could be penalties, Paul.
Okay, penalties. Paul O'Donovan says penalties. All right, I'm not taking any of the money. I'm too short. I'm the smallest man here, but I'm normally the smallest one here. So with that, we're going to transfer you back over. We're going to have our advert break first, and then we're going to be transferring you over to Ray Gavin and Paul O'Hearn, who are on commentary here for this afternoon's games. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you watching on AirV TV, my thanks to Alan and Paul. We'll be back with you at half time, but for the moment, we're just going to say adios, and we'll see you. We'll pass you over to Ray and Paul in commentary.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Cusack Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. If I ain't got you, ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like, baby. You don't know what it's like.
All new Renault Capture SUV for all your lives.
Welcome to the commentary box here. I'm Ray Gavin, and on commentary with Paula Heron and co-commentary along with me here in Cusack Park. Conditions absolutely perfect, Paul. I know you've been down on the side of the field here, and conditions are absolutely perfect. Pitch in immaculate condition as always here in TG Cusack Park.
Yeah, no, the pitch is absolutely perfect. Like, just a nice little bit of give in it, but nothing too serious. The grass is nice and short, and yeah, there's a bit of a breeze just blowing down into the apartment end, down from the Dunn Stores end. But apart from that, conditions are ideal.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice touch here to see the Mullingar Town Band here. It's traditional, always here for county finals, and it's nice to see them even if they're not in full uniform.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, it's part of county final day. I don't think county final will be a county final if the Mullingar Town Band weren't playing the national anthem, and I'm sure there won't be a parade or anything like that, but it's nice to have that touch of something close to normality for a county final day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think now we've got the two teams to hand here, Paul. I know you had some of them earlier on, but we have now got both teams confirmed to hand, so there are a couple of changes on both sides, and we'll go through them as we go along. And I think we're going to start off with the St. Lomans team first of all. And in goals, number 1 is Jason Daly. The first change on the St. Lomans team comes at the right cornerback position, where number 18 Paddy Dowdle starts. The fullback is Darrow O'Keefe, where number 3 and David Whelan completes the fullback line. In the half-back line, Kelvin Riley is wears 5, Ryan Jones is the centre half-back at 6, and Conor Donoghue is left half-back, wear number 7. Middle of the field, wear number 8 Sean Flanagan, and Sean will be partner, wear number 9 Fola Ierindi. Second change on the St. Lomans team comes at the number 10 position, where number 23 Conrad Riley starts. The centre half forward is Ronan O'Toole wearing 11, and Sam McCartan completes the half forward line wearing number 12. And on the inside line, Peter Foy is at 13, the captain John Hesson at 14, and top of the left, number 15 for St. Lomans today is Fionn O'Hara. And in the last couple of minutes, we've just had confirmation from the Tyrrellspass team, and again, 2 changes in that team, and we'll go through it quickly. In goals, Darren Quinn, we're number 1. Their first change also comes in the right cornerback position, where number 22, Jamie Corcoran, starts. The fullback is Jamie Ganood at 3, and Stephen Quinn is at 4. In the half-back line, Val Siskis is at 5, Nigel Hart is the centre half-back with 6, and Conor Slevin at 7. Middle of the field, where number 8 is David Lynham, and Heath David is partnered by Dennis Lennon, where number 9. In the half-hour line, Aaron O'Brien's at 10, Adam Flanagan at 11, Dean McNicholas at 12. And the inside line, second change for Tyrrellspass, number 18, Kieran Geraghty starts. David Lennon is the full forward, wearing number 14, and Jerry Egan completes the Tyrrellspass lineup, wearing number 15. So 2 changes, Paula Heron on both sides. Is it a reflection of both sides that 2 cornerbacks have been replaced?
Yeah, I think the first one, just from a Lomans point of view, I think notable Paddy Dowdle comes in at cornerback. Rory Sheehan has been a standout player for St. Lomans all through the championship, particularly with his attacking drives up the field and yielding scores from it. So, I think straight away you can see Lomans are looking to shore up their defence a little bit there and get a bit tighter. I think in reality Paddy Dowdle probably brought in to do a man marking job on Jerry Egan, I would think. Yeah. I would suspect that's the rationale there. I think on Tyrrellspass side, I think Kieran Geraghty, he scored 3 points in the second half in the semi-final, and that's probably the rationale for the change there. from that point of view. So look, both teams tweaking it a little bit in terms of what they see in the opposition and what they think they need to do to counteract them from that point of view. I think probably the other change is, from a Lomans point of view, TJ Cox is unavailable today, so Peter Foy is there in the corner, and you have, really, when you look at it, there's a lot of talent in that St. Lomans in their forward line entirely, and then you go across and you've got D. McNicholas, David Lennon, Ger Egan and Adam Flanagan, who are all real accomplished forwards as well. So two sets of good attackers on show there. I think really the reality of this game will come down to which set of forwards can get on top or get most possession and take their opportunities.
So I think from the toss we see out there, the referee is Pat Fox for today's game, and with the feeling we have here is that Ger Egan has won the toss. So if you were Ger Egan now, Paul Ahern, which way would you opt to go? There is no real breeze down here today, is there?
No, not really. I mean, there is a bit of a breeze down from the Dunstores end down towards the apartments. I'd love to be Ger Egan, have his ability to put the ball over the bar consistently like he is. I mean, my preference is always to start against the wind, and try and get defensively set up that you can take more advantage of the wind once the game kind of opens up from that point of view. There's another school of thought which is take the advantage while it's there and go with it, but in reality the breeze isn't that strong that it's going to have a significant impact on the game.
Yeah, I don't think so too. Just a quick word on both managers here today, Emmett McDonald and Declan Kelly. Emmett from Tyrrellspass, again very experienced manager, has managed at county level with Offaly as well, schools level as well then. So Declan Kelly on the other hand managed the Offaly under 20s stroke 21s for a couple of years, great success with clubs on the club scene in Offaly. But his first year involved with Westmeath football.
Yeah, no, I think, look, a couple of standout things for me there. One is, Emmett McDonald, how he's evolved the Tyrrellspass game plan and their tactical setup as the championship has gone on has been very, very clever in terms of, how they've set up defensively and particularly on transition into attack, and being able to release David Lennon and Ger Egan. They've kind of built a good game plan around that from that point of view. I think, from Declan's point of view, I think, coming in, not having done a huge amount of work with the players, getting to know them and so on and so forth, he's been very brave in terms of the changes he's made and the positional changes he's made, and he's very decisive in terms of what he's looking at and what he needs to do. So they're both well experienced managers, they're both shrewd, as usual, like when you're coaching a team, in reality, with the water break now, you get 3 opportunities: the water break, half time and the second water break, to make a few tweaks, and it really comes down to making those decisions during the course of the game that can impact it and influence it your way.
And one thing, when you mentioned the water breaks, I mentioned it yesterday during commentary on the intermediate game, I think it was, but I read an article on the national paper during the week about, I think it was in County Clare, one of the managers of the teams in the senior final today thought it's a great thing for the water breaks, that it gives them a chance to get 1 or 2 quick messages into a player's mind as they set back out for the second quarter of each half.
Oh yeah, no, sometimes when the water breaks aren't there, you're waiting till half time to try and get messages in, communicate what you want players to do and so on and so forth. Admittedly you only get a minute to make that in the water break, but you can really change the momentum of a game at those periods.
But look, we're going to go to an ad break here now, and we'll be back with our Own Naveen, going to be played by the Mullingar Town Band, and back to us then for 4 o'clock for throw-in.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. If I ain't got you, ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like, baby. You don't know what it's like.
All new Renault Capture SUV for all your lives.
Fucking Freudian slip again.
Back here as we wait for the Mullingar Town Band just to get on the countdown for around the Vian, and we're looking out. It looks like Tyrrellspass are going to play from right to left. I see Darren Quinn making his way down towards the goal at the flats end, so you know that'll be Tyrrellspass kicking from our right to left as we look out, and don't think it makes much difference really today, Paul, but certainly St. Lomans not breaking away from their warm-up just yet, but
yeah, no, I think
they are there.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed in some of the games is playing up into that Dunstores complex. A lot of balls drifting left to the post. Now I don't know whether it's just that whatever's behind the goals, it's kind of harder to see the posts or whatever. But you know, I definitely think the scoring goals here is down the apartment end. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
We're going to have a wait now for our On the Fiend, which has been sung today by Ballagore man Shane Herity, accompanied by the Mullingar Town Band. The final formalities now completed, and St. Lomans team are breaking away and have gone into position. Remember, St. Lomans today playing in the change strip of all white because both teams asked to change, and Tyrrellspass playing in the predominantly maroon colour. Paul Ahern, as we come down into the last minute beforehand, what's your predictions? How do you think this is going to go?
I think this will come down to, you know, whether Lomans have started all their games really, really sharp, really, really quickly, rattled off a lot of scores and goals early, and if Tyrrellspass can hold them and be with them, I think I'd love to see this come down to the last 10 minutes in a really tight game, and we'll see where we go there.
Pat Fox is the referee, and he's thrown in the ball, is grabbed on the throw in by the midfielder there for Tyrrellspass. That's Adam Flanagan. Adam moves the ball on, has gone in towards David Lennon. David on the ground but holds the possession, does very well. In fact, I think that's Dean McNicholas, gives it off to Val Siskus. Val runs into a stone wall in there, and attempted pass, and it's intercepted by that man Ronan O'Toole, back inside his own 25 yards from his own goals. Gets the possession, trying to come forward, but he's taken out of the play, he'll say. But St. Lomans still breaking forward here. The ball is fisted inside. There's a chance here, but great covering back there by Adam Flanagan. Did very well. Tracked the runner right back there. The runner was Peter Foy. He was tracked all the way back to the 13-metre line. Great work there by the Tyrrellspass midfielder. And Tyrrellspass on the clearance. Kieran Geraghty involved in the play on a couple of occasions already. He's right out in the middle of the field, crossing the St. Lomans 65-metre line. Looks up, tries to fire the ball in towards David Lennon. David goes off his hand, manages to just keep it in the field of play. Very close to the line. Comes forward. Nice ball inside where Jerry Egan has a chance maybe to go for the score. Referee may have got in his way. Tackled there by Full Irindi, and the referee, I think he was playing the advantage there, because certainly I think the referee got in the way there of Jerry Egan, because I think Jerry was having a look at the post there.
Yeah, no, Jerry was not alone trying to avoid the Lomans backs, but also Pat Fox and trying to get an angle around them. But he's got the free, and it's a first scoring opportunity. I think the first interesting thing is Conor Slevin is picking up Ron O'Toole. He followed him right from the kick-off all the way back. Ron O'Toole got the ball in his own D, and Conor Slevin's picking that up, and Nigel Hart has moved over to left half back, and he's picking up Sam McCartan.
Changes all over the place, but we'll watch now as Jerry Egan, the first opportunity for Tyrrellspass to get on the scoreboard. 2 minutes gone in the opening half here. Gerard, this free just outside the D to suit a right footed kicker, and certainly well within Jerry Egan's range here now as he comes forward with the right foot. He's going to take it out of his hand, fires it in, and the goalkeeper looks up at it, but there's nothing the goalkeeper can do about that because that's right between the uprights, and the opening score comes for Tyrrellspass and for their corner forward, their team captain, their talisman, Jerry Egan. Lovely score there from Ger, and the goalkeeper Jason Daly, he's on the 20-metre line and he goes short with the kick out to Conor Donohoe. Over on the far side, Aaron O'Brien trying to close him down. Peter Foy has come very, very deep from the number 13 position, just opens the play out to this side of the field where Paddy Dowdle coming forward, ignores a couple of players around him, and Conor Slevin and Ronan Foley, but Paddy keeps coming forward and then hits a high ball in, asking a lot of his inside forwards there. That's Fionn O'Hara, but nothing Fionn could do about that there. But like you say, Paul Ahern, it looks like Ronan O'Toole and Conor Slevin are really going to get to know each other before this game is over.
Yeah, no, they've been pretty close to each other on a lot of attacks, even though neither of them had on the ball. But that was a good attack from Lomans. Unfortunately, the ball in from Paddy just didn't. It just went too long. Actually, drifted in over Fionn O'Hara's head, and nothing arose from it.
Yeah, Darren Quinn has the ball on the 20-metre line. He's ready with the first kick out for Darren. Couple of short steps back and fires it with the right foot. Ball out into the middle, broken down here. Foul on the number 8 there, Sean Flanagan there, on the free is going to be taken, and Ron O'Toole has it taken already, and he's gone to take the return pass. He's on the 45-metre line going across the field, looks up, looking for somebody to make a run, but again heavy tackle on Ron O'Toole there by Stephen Quinn, and in the early opening 4 minutes we could have a Tyrrellspass man in the book. Certainly not something that any one of the backs want to be happening at this stage of the game, but I think Pat Fox has to probably put his mark on this and not let anything get away, because Ron O'Toole does ship a lot of heavy punishment.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, that was a high. Stephen Quinn was high and heavy in there, and really probably didn't need to commit himself so strongly into that tackle. We're kind of 55, 60 yards out. He could have just stood him up and forced him to recycle.
Yeah, Stephen Quinn enters the referee's book, all right. Yellow card for Stephen, and John Heston is out now ready to take this free. He's probably 50 metres out from the Tyrrellspass goals. He hits it in, but doesn't have the distance here. But Tyrrellspass had a lot of men back there. Dennis Lennon there. Dennis, remember, lining out in the middle of the field with number 9. He's back, but he's done what he has done probably since the second match of the championship. He's gone back into a sweeper position, and he was there ready to get that breaking ball, and Tyrrellspass come away with it. And Aaron O'Brien has it now, fires it over to this side of the field where Jamie Ganoud is coming forward. Jamie, little fisted pass on to Val Siskas. Val on the ball, gives it inside to Jerry Egan on the play. Jer coming off the shoulder is Dean McNicholas. Dean coming forward again, lovely ball again. Good work there, Nigel Harkin, with great hands in on the centre half back there as he tried to break in there and dispossessed, and St. Lomans turn it over, and they're coming up the field with the ball. Kelvin Riley, lovely, and again a lot of stuff going on off the ball. The referee, his attention being drawn to him, but St. Lomans are playing away there, and Ronan O'Toole, the man is shipping a lot of that punishment. He's on the ball again, takes it in towards the 45-metre line, pushed as he got the ball away, but he finds a teammate over there on the far side of the field. That's Conrad Riley. Conrad in a lot of space, just holding the possession, working it backwards, content to hold the possession and to come forward again. Ronan O'Toole is on it again. There is a spare man over on the far side of the field, and they're coming forward with it now. Fisted ball inside to Fionn O'Hara. Fionn about 40 metres out, coming central, making a little bit of an angle, gives it off to Peter Foy. Peter, couple of players around and gets the shot away, but it's again under pressure getting it away, and that ball bounced in there a little dangerously in front of Darren Quinn, but Darren, experienced goalkeeper, kept his eye on it, got the two hands on it and gives it off then to Dennis Lennon, and Aaron O'Brien is filtered right back there, and so has Kieran Geraghty from his cornerback position, but he's coming out in the right half back position now, coming across the 45-metre line for Tyrrellspass, has been on the ball quite a bit, gives it on then to Conor Slevin. Conor having a look up decides to change his mind and come back, gives it to Adam Flanagan. Jerry Egan is right back there, 50 metres out from St. Lomans, his own goals as well. Dennis Lennon has it now. Dennis injecting a little bit of pace into it and then just slows it down, waiting for the runners to come. Jamie Ganood is the latest man to take the ball and gives it off then to Dean McNicholas, and Dean looks up and sees that Adam Flanagan is in a lot of space there. Fisted ball over to the far side again. Tyrrellspass very patient, holding the possession, going through the hands again. Adam Flanagan then bursts forward, tall player into a little bit of space, has a look at the post, but great blocking down there by Paddy Dowdle. Measure the timing of that, absolutely perfect, coming forward. Gives the ball inside. St. Lomans now coming forward in numbers. Ronan O'Toole has it, but Tyrrellspass, they're back there again. Ronan coming forward again, this time pushed on the back there, and certainly already in these early stages I think Ronan O'Toole is certainly the most foul player in the opening 7 minutes of this game, Paul.
Yeah, no, look, Tyrrellspass have obviously targeted him in terms of he's the most influential player on the Lomans team, and they're man marking him and not really letting him try and set up anything inside. I think the interesting contrast in styles, really, Lomans are playing a more direct style, early ball into space inside, whereas Tyrrellspass are retaining possession, trying to work overlaps, trying to work fellas off the shoulder and run the ball up the field.
Yeah, John Hesson with his second shot at the goals here. This free is inside the 45 metre line and John gets it over the bar. Lovely score there from the number 14, the team captain, from that free, and the equaliser for St. Lomans comes just as the clock hits the 8 minute mark. And lovely score there from John. The last one was probably about 10 metres further out there. He just didn't get the distance on it, but Darren Quinn has the kick out taken short, and to Dennis Lennon. Dennis comes out to the 45 metre line, gives it back to Conor Slevin. Conor holding the possession, goes back inside here where Jamie Ganood comes forward with it. Goes sideways across the field. Conrad Riley trying to get a hand on to slow him down, but he does very well. Gives it over there to Aaron O'Brien. Aaron just holding the possession. Comes in central, gives it in here to Conor Slevin coming on to the ball. Conor, fisted pass out as far as Nigel Hart. Nigel takes on his man. Ball knocked away from him, but he holds the possession. Has it again. And lifts the head and has a look around him, holds that possession, comes inside, spins off a tackle, goes to ground with the referee playing the advantage, allows Tyrrellspass to continue with the ball, and Dean McNicholas then gives it inside there. Again, asks a lot of David Lynham there. David did well to retain the possession back as far as Nigel Hart through the hand. Dennis Lennon has it now. Dennis fronted up and he's forced back away, and David Lynham then using Adam Flanagan as the extra man over on the far side of the field, and Tyrrellspass, Jamie Ganood now on the ball, heading towards the 45 metre line, but now coming back towards his own goals, gives it back to Dennis Lennon, and Tyrrellspass slowing down the play very much so, and Jamie Ganood to Jerry Egan, and Jerry now is back inside his own half of the field, tried to be closed down there by Sean Flanagan, gets the pass away, and Adam Flanagan comes into a little bit of traffic there, but does well, holds the possession, gives it off to Conor Slevin. Conor comes forward, gives it off then to Kieran Garrett. Kieran with the shot with the outside of the right foot, but unfortunately for Kieran, not on target there, but certainly great pressure put on there by the St. Lomans men there as Kieran Garrett came through with it. But Tyrrellspass been very patient holding that ball,
yeah.
and
very patient and just trying to create the opportunity to get a fella breaking into space like Garrity did there, and unfortunately it's not a shot he'd want to see again.
Calvin Riley takes the short kick out from his goalkeeper, feeds a lovely little ball into John Hesson. John up against Jamie Ganood for the first time today, and John just drops the shoulder, went to go right, came back onto the left, and a lovely score from the number 14. Paul Ahern, we all know what the quality that John Hesson has, and certainly if he's not been put under more pressure than that, he will kick points here all day.
Yeah, look, if John gets possession in space like that, he'll definitely just be able to swing it over left foot, right foot, and you need to get players around him if you're trying to close down space in front of him.
Absolutely, he's the one forward I think that you can't afford to leave 1-on-1, no matter how good a man marker that Jamie Ganood might be, but certainly John Hesson, he's big, he's powerful, he can kick off both feet, that time with the left foot fires it over the bar. A high tackle there on Conor Slevin there by Foley or Indy, as Conor not too happy with it. Referee just has a word with the St. Lomans man, but nothing more than a free and just maybe a quick tick to him, but the free is going to be for Dennis Lennon, and Tyrrellspass right out in the centre of the field looking for somebody to make an angle from. Den just looks up and sees that there is a man in space, and that man is Jerry Egan. Jerry takes on his man, little fisted ball inside to David Lennon. David forced away from the goals, goes to ground, couple of men around him, but again the white jerseys do enough to put enough pressure on him to turn it over, and St. Lomans are on the move again. Run the 2, lovely weighted ball in as far as Sam McCartan. Sam taking on Stephen Quinn, runs at him, goes to the right, then comes back onto the left, has a look at the post, takes the shot, but didn't catch that one the way he wanted to. Darren Quinn very alert in there, wasn't going to let that ball bounce in the AstroTurf, and just came out, smothered it, and Dennis Lennon is right beside him then to take the pass from him, and Tyrrellspass building it out into the centre, and Conor Slevin is on it again. Conor coming forward, short little ball to Dean McNicholas. Dean takes on his man, then thinks better of it, comes back, gives a little fisted ball inside where Jerry Egan looking for the runner. Good ball there, gives it off to Nigel Hart. Nigel holding the possession, giving it back again, and Dean McNicholas took a late hit there, but the referee allows the play to go on. That was Sean Flanagan there that came in, but Tyrrellspass have the possession. Aaron O'Brien has it now, and Aaron treads a little lovely ball through to Val Siskus. Val again just holding that possession, running at the St. Lomans defence on the first ball, but then content to turn right back around and hold the possession. Then Dennis Lennon joins the attack from the sweeper position. Dennis is on the St. Lomans 45 metre line, held up again, gives a little short ball to Kieran Garrity. Kieran on a lot of ball there, gives it into David Lennon, but David doesn't handle it correctly at the first time, but he has it at the second, but he's on the ground, couple of men around it. Referee is right in beside it looking at it. What's he going to do? He's blown the whistle. I expect he's going to throw the ball up, but certainly St. Lomans men crowding around the Tyrrellspass backline, or the forwards, as they came in with that ball there.
Both Fiona O'Hara and Peter Foyer dropping back and really just leaving John Heslin up front, and that's just creating a lot of bodies in around, particularly on the Lomans 45. I'm wondering, Lomans obviously conscious of defending strongly, but they're just leaving one or two up, and I'm not sure whether that's kind of giving them as many opportunities up front as they want to take.
Yeah, there was a foul committed there on Folai Indy as he got away with the ball there, and like Docherty just tapped it through one of the Tyrrellspass players' legs there, but a late tackle on him then, it resulted in the free, and the free is taken, and St. Lomans have the possession. They're almost back inside their own half. They are indeed back inside their own half, and they're building again from back there. Ball fisted out here to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin goes central, a man that's going to be playing in the county hurling final next week, more than likely, for his club Clonkill. But today it's all about the big ball for Kelvin. Ball is now with Sam McCartan. Sam gives it back to the centre half back Ryan Jones. Through the hands it goes. Ronan O'Toole, the orchestrator of a lot of the attacking play for St. Lomans, has the ball here. 3 Tyrrellspass men come to him, strong enough to hold that ball, and he tries to get a ball in over the top, but well intercepted there by the Tyrrellspass men. That was Nigel Hart, and they turn it over, and the ball is with Adam Flanagan now. Adam, fisted ball, just deflected there off a St. Lomans hand there, and the ball turned over again. Sean Flanagan there did very well for his side, and the ball into Sean's midfield partner, full iron in the full ball in, but again good work there by the corner back there. That's Jamie Corcoran out in front of his man, gets to the ball first and wins it for his side, and the ball is given inside here now where Jerry Egan is on it. Back inside the St. Lomans 65, fires the ball down towards David Lennon, again doesn't hold it there, and St. Lomans men coming forward with it again. Great work there by David Whelan. Picked up David Lennon there. David's ball slipped through his hands, and David Whelan was there to take advantage of it, and Ronan O'Toole has it again, goes left and then comes back in on his right, takes on Conor Slevin. Conor comes on to him again and pulls him to the ground there. He's pleading his innocence, saying that his arm was being held, but certainly Ronan O'Toole been on a lot of ball for St. Lomans in these early stages, Paul.
Yeah, no, I didn't get so much ball in the last 4 or 5 minutes, and Tyrrellspass have kind of, done a good job on tying them up so far, but, Connor's going to have to be a little bit careful now. There's probably 2 or 3 frees he's given away on Ronan when Ronan runs at him, and, he could be in trouble with a card shortly if he keeps that up.
Yeah, John Heslin has the ball in his hand here, ready to take this free for St. Lomans, and with the right foot he curls it in, and the umpires look up at it, and the umpires makes a slow walk to the post, but he signals that that one is over the bar. 3 points now for St. Lomans. That single point for Tyrrellspass, and we're at the end of the first quarter with the first water break. No real pattern to the play yet, on no one really on top one way or the other.
No, it's been very, they've been kind of shadow boxing a little bit. I would say so far. I think what's noticeable so far is St. Lomans are leaving John Heslin isolated inside in the D and pulling Peter Foy and Fiona O'Hara out, and that's ended up that they're really, really crowding their defensive area, and they're trying to get the ball to pick passes into John and release them in space. Whereas Tyrrellspass are really holding on to possession and kind of, trying to work the ball up the field, create overlaps and so on and so forth. For Tyrrellspass, I think, with David Lennon inside, with Jerry Egan inside, I think there might be a little bit more opportunity for them to try and break early ball inside and get runners off them. They're going to have to work incredibly hard for scores the way they're playing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we've seen Jerry Egan more often than not, certainly in the middle third and even back in the Tyrrellspass half of the field there. But both mentors have had words with their side and said Lomans will probably be the happier at 3 points to 1 in the lead here as we get ready to get the play resumed again for the second quarter. The ball will be on the 20-metre line for Darren Quinn with a kick out, and certainly we just on that break there I see Peter Foy has had his legs heavily bandaged there. Looks like it's maybe a hamstring injury or whatever, but he's back out there. Stephen Quinn marking him. Don't know is there much in it, but certainly he seems to be heavily strapped as he comes back out.
Yeah, he's certainly got a heavy strap on his right leg.
Darren Quinn has the ball retrieved from the umpire back in there as he heads now towards the 20-metre line, ready with the kick out again. Darren just taking his time now as he has a look and looking for players to make a run, and with the right foot then drops the ball onto the St. Lomans 65-metre line. It's a great catch out there by Adam Flanagan, calls the mark, turns around, route one, long ball dropping in here off the hands of a couple of the St. Lomans backs there, and it looks like it is a penalty. Yes, it is. I think it was Kieran Geraghty.
Yeah.
Was the man that got on the end of that. Thought maybe it looked like he had taken maybe too many steps with it for a minute, but certainly that long high ball in by Adam Flanagan certainly caused a lot of problems in there. We can see Kieran Geraghty on it. He tried to take on the keeper. I think it was the keeper that pulled him to the ground, and certainly a great opportunity for Tyrrellspass to get the first goal in this 2020 county football final. And it's Jerry Egan, the man that's putting the ball on the penalty spot. And
the St. Lomans defence didn't really react well to that high ball, and Geraghty got his hands on the ball and just he did really, really well and was pulled down.
Jerry Egan standing over this penalty, the referee making sure everyone is back in position as Jerry comes forward and strokes into the top corner. Lovely goal there from the team captain Jerry Egan. And it's amazing, Paul Ahern, Tyrrellspass have spent probably 17 or 18 minutes playing the ball around the field, come back out, one long ball in, trouble, goal, balls in the back of the net. Great score for Tyrrellspass.
And generally those balls in where it was 3-on-1 defenders around Tyrrellspass attacker, they don't normally result in much, but Peter Foy's been a bit silly there, and he could be in trouble.
From the kick out there, he gathered the ball. Kieran Geraghty tackled hard on him, he was fouled, but a little bit of retaliation here, and it's going to be a throw up ball here now, and certainly things livening up here after that goal. Certainly Pat Fox is throwing the ball up. Peter Foy is trying to get a break on it, but the ball very close to the sideline there. A high tackle there by Val Siskis on his opposite number 5 there, Kelvin Riley. Kelvin gets the free, takes the free and takes the return pass, and very, very close to the side. And a good work there by the Tyrrellspass men trying to stop that run, but Ryan Jones has broken out and he has the ball, gives it back to Conrad Riley. Conrad holds the ball back to his brother Kelvin. Kelvin comes forward, left foot of Solar, he's on the 45, he's gone over the 45, gives it to Ronan 2. Ronan takes a heavy hit from Jamie Ganu there, and foul committed and the free taken quickly. Ball moved in as far as Fionn O'Hara. Fionn coming forward, couple of players in front of him, gets a shot away, but it's taken off the line by, I think it was one of the bowers that Conor Slavin could have been on the line. He got a foot on that. We'll have a look at that in a couple of minutes, but certainly a let off there for Tyrrellspass, because there was great play there from on the free by Ron O'Toole, took it quickly, and great chance for Fionn O'Hara, and certainly you would have backed the St. Lomans man to put that in the back of the net, but Tyrrellspass live dangerously and get away with it, and the free is taken, and Adam Flanagan has the ball, and Adam out to Nigel Hart out in the centre of the field. Nigel spins around, has a look, see who's in the space there. That's Aaron O'Brien. Aaron on to Jamie Ganu. Jamie takes on Ronald Toole, pulled to the ground there, and a foul committed, and the free for Tyrrellspass back inside their own 65.
Yeah, this is a quick free. Ronald Toole took it, slipped it to Fionn O'Hara, who rounded one player, tried to slot it low into the corner, and it just didn't really have the momentum and allowed Tyrrellspass to kind of clear it off the line. That was a good opportunity.
Good opportunity missed there by the St. Lomans forwards there, but the ball is now out on the Tyrrellspass 65 metre line. Jerry Regan is taking the free. He's put it back 20 metres to Dennis Lennon on the 45 metre line. Dennis holding the possession, coming across the field. Very experienced player, remember, maybe not so used to being playing back in this position that he's in currently, but certainly he's adapted well to it, spares the legs and, you know, covers a lot of ground back. Angel Hart's coming forward with the ball, but runs into a lot of traffic there, and the tackles are coming in thick and fast here, and St. Lomans have turned it over again, and Kelvin Riley, ball in hand, sees a little bit of space over on the far side of the field. Kelvin holding the possession. Again, back into his own half of the field, and through the hands it goes, and Peter Foy is in a little bit of space, and as is Conor Donoghue over on this side of the field, but Ronan O'Toole trying to get himself into the game. He's on it now, lifts the head, has a look, looking to see where the runner is. The runner is John Heston, but there's 3 Tyrrellspass men in there around him, and they dispossess him, and Dennis Lennon is the man that picks up the breaking ball there, but there's a hit on one of the Tyrrellspass men there, and the referee, I think, deems that it might be a head injury, and he just calls the play to a halt there to allow treatment to come in there for the Tyrrellspass man. It's the centre half back Nigel Hart, the man that's on the ground there, but again a ball played into John Heston there, was certainly outnumbered 3-1, Paul, and they're not the kind of ball that Lomans need to be playing in there.
Yeah, I think, look, John's very, very isolated in there, and you know, if you can release the right ball into him in space, yeah, he can surely do an awful lot of damage, but you know, Tyrrellspass are getting bodies in around him, and you know, on that occasion it just really wasn't the right choice from Ronan there in terms of that, and I think, you know, really from a Lomans point of view, they need to be putting somebody up there to play off John, if they're to get a bit more traction out of their attack.
Well, thankfully that injured player there, Nigel Hart, is back on his feet again, and Tyrrellspass have taken the free, and they've already worked it out to the 145 metre line, where Jerry Egan is on it again. Little fisted pass to David Lynham, and Jer bursts forward onto the ball, and he's crossing the St. Lomans 65, looks up, and with the outside of the right foot plays a lovely ball out to David Lennon, invite him to come on to. David slips back on his feet again, comes back towards his own goals, gives a nice ball into Conor Slevin. Conor has a spare man over on the far side, just waiting to get the timing right, and gets it on to Aaron O'Brien. Aaron backs himself with the shot, it's high, it's dropping in, and it's over the bar. It's a lovely score there for the wing forward there, Aaron O'Brien. Lovely patient play there, but we see there's another David Lennon has gone to ground again. Not sure what happened, but certainly he has slipped and fallen a couple of times there, but don't know whether there's an injury there. The physio is in with him, but he's back on his feet as the play comes close to him, but St. Lomans have it taken quickly, and Ryan Jones on the ball gets it out then to Peter Foy. Through the hands it goes. Kelvin Riley then firing the ball. Nice ball down here. John Heston is on the ball again. John goes right and goes left, and he's coming back in, backs himself with the left foot, takes a shot. A lovely score there from John Heston. Beautiful score there off the left foot. That's a super score there. And certainly just shows the quality of John Heston, what he can do if you don't put the numbers in around him.
Yeah, I think anywhere inside 35 yards, if John can get the ball in the yard or two of space, he'd certainly back himself to be able to score. On most occasions he would.
24 minutes on the clock. A great catch there from the kick out, and a mark called by Dean McNicholas, and Dean is taking it quickly and gives it into Jerry Egan. Jerry coming forward, has support, doesn't use him for the first attempt, comes forward then, gives a lovely ball on, and ball fisted in, and Tyrrellspass are on the move again. Nigel Hart is after, but at the last second, great defending there by the St. Lomans backs there. The white jerseys there got in around Nigel Hart coming forward there, and certainly if Nigel had got that ball to hand, it was a great opportunity. Nigel, great player to drive at the team, but Lomans turned the possession round, and Ronan O'Toole has the ball coming in, tore across the 20 metre line, and he's fouled again. Another free, another lazy free. This time I think it's committed by Jamie Corcoran. It's going to be a free, and a free for John Heston again.
Yeah, I think Tyrrellspass are swapping whoever they have mark and Ronan O'Toole. So like early on, it was Conor Slevin. Now Jamie Corcoran is picking him up for this second quarter.
John Heston with the kick, and no mistake from John there. That's the equaliser now. 5 points now for St. Lomans, 1 goal and 2 points for Tyrrellspass. John Heston with the 5 on the board for St. Lomans. Darren Quinn waiting to get a ball back from behind the goals, but certainly these fouls that Tyrrellspass are committing Paul inside 35-40 yards. John Heston will punish them for it.
Yeah, and they've had 3 of them, so they're really keeping Lomans in the game with their little bit of indiscipline. But saying that, it's challenging to mark Ron O'Toole without committing fouls, and most of them have come off him.
Yeah, that kick out taken by Darren Quinn is gathered well here for St. Lomans, and Kelvin Riley is on the play again. Kelvin is into D in it, looking for a little bit of support, and that support comes from Fionn O'Hara. That's a lovely score there from Fionn O'Hara. Lovely play there.
Just came in on the blind side off Kelvin, just shipped the ball out nicely to him, and he just run onto his right foot in space and just slipped it over the bar. Nice score.
Yeah, Kelvin Riley driving forward there from the right half back position there, did very, very well, and put St. Lomans into the lead. 6 points now to 1 goal and 2 points, and the kick is taken again by Darren Quinn, dropping it out here, broken down. Who gets on it? It's the St. Lomans men are on it again. Over the far side is Conor Donoghue, and they're attacking forward now with Conrad Riley heading towards the Tyrrellspass 20 metre line, coming inside, using the man off the shoulder and takes the return. Conrad trying to orchestrate it here, and it's that man Ronan O'Toole comes inside, looked like he was tripped there, gives the ball inside to no one in particular, and the referee said the ball, I think there, was touched on the ground, and it's going to be a free out for Tyrrellspass, right back inside their own 13 metre line. Dennis Lennon has the ball in his hand, gives it back to Darren Quinn. Darren back to Dennis as Dennis comes across the large parallelogram. He's across the 20 metre line, has support back here from Jamie Ganood. Jamie gives it inside to Conor Slevin. Conor through the hands it goes here now, and Aaron O'Brien right back 40 metres out from his own goal, gives a bit of a lazy pass over there, putting Jamie Corcoran under a little bit of pressure, but Jamie keeps it in play, and the ball given out to Adam Flanagan. Adam shrugs the St. Lomans man out of the way there and holds the possession. Val gives it inside here, and Dennis Lennon is on it. Dennis looks like he was being pulled back there by Foley Indian. Foley, referee agrees with me and said yes, he had held him back, and the free is for Tyrrellspass on their own 65 metre line. Jerry Egan with the ball in hand. Tyrrellspass trying to move up the field, but Ger just holds possession back as far as Dennis Lennon, and Dennis ambles forward here now and gives it on to Jamie Groom, but again a high arm in over the shoulder there by Foley or Indian. Foley's had a couple of those now, and has to be coming very close to going into the referee's notebook.
He's fortunate because that's 2 high tackles now, and I think the Lomans midfield actually could do with freshening it up a little bit. Neither of them have been influencing the game so far, and they just need that little bit more energy there. I think it'll give them a lot more go forward ball. They're just very dependent on Ron O'Toole coming short and looking for the ball to set things up.
Yeah, Tyrrellspass have taken the free short and they're working it in. Nigel Hart finds Kieran Geraghty in a little bit of space. Kieran, fisted pass out here to Aaron O'Brien, has already got 1 point, backs himself with the shot, and that's a lovely score there from Aaron O'Brien. Certainly 2 lovely points there from Aaron O'Brien, and the sides are level again. 1 goal and 3 points. 1 goal and 3 points for Tyrrellspass, 6 for St. Lomans.
Yeah, Aaron O'Brien, lovely snapshot, very little space. He just took 1 step and popped it over the bar.
Kick out is taken here. Looked like there was a very high tackle there on, that was Jerry Egan, I think, on Kelvin Riley, and the referee agrees, and the free is given, and free for Kelvin, and again not allowed taken in a hurry, but he's quite content to give it back to Paddy Dowdle, and Paddy goes across very central there, holding the possession, gives it off to Ryan Jones, and signals that the last man of the half-back line, Conor Donoghue, is in space over there on the far side of the field. Conor takes on his man, goes by him, and then looks for Conrad Riley to come in onto that ball. Conrad fisted ball, looking for John Heston. Looked like John was pushing the back there. He certainly went to the ground there as if he was, but referee doesn't buy it, and Dennis Lennon intercepts it, and Dennis has the ball, and he's already heading towards the 65 metre line. Gives it to Adam Flanagan. Adam, a little pop off pass as far as Kieran Geraghty. Kieran, nice ball, just throwing it right down back to Dennis. Dennis looking for somebody to come on to that ball, and sees it. Aaron O'Brien, scorer of 2 points already for his side. He's in space over there on the 65 metre line, gives it into Conor Slevin, and back to Aaron O'Brien. Again, very pedestrian in the middle of the field here as Ger Egan has the ball. Ger just leaves it off to Dennis. Dennis, look, great vision from Dennis. Dennis sees that Nigel Hart is in position. Nigel taking on the St. Lomans defence there, runs into a little bit of traffic but has support here, and the shot coming in from David Lynham, dropping it in, but David doesn't have the distance on that one, and the goalkeeper steps out there. Jason Daly, first time Jason's really been called into action from general play, and gives the ball off here, and St. Lomans now coming down the field. Good Good play here. Ball fisted over this side of the field. That's Sam McCartan. Sam off to Conor Donoghue to run a tool to Peter Foy on the break in a little bit of space. Running or with the outside of the right foot, drives the ball in towards John Heston, but Jamie Ganood and Dennis Lennon are around him there, and they managed to keep the ball out of John's hand, and they turned the ball over here, and Jerry Egan going very deep as he has for most of the game on the ball here now on Tyrrellspass' own 45 metre line, gives it on to Adam Flanagan, Adam to Kieran Geraghty to Stephen Quinn, and on to Aaron O'Brien here. Tyrrellspass just building slowly, holding the possession, give the ball across into space where Dennis is always seems to be available back here for them. Dennis slowly ambles out towards the 45 metre line, gives the ball inside here now, and again ball to Kieran Geraghty, and he was met at the same time as the ball by Sam McCartan, but Kieran holds on to possession, did very well, gives it to Aaron O'Brien off to Jamie Ganood on the run, comes inside, driving it forward, he's on the Lomans 45 metre, nice ball in over the top. Adam Flanagan on the ball this time. Adam spins around from a couple of players, but under pressure there, loses the ball and is well dispossessed over the good work there by the St. Lomans man. The foul committed there, and I don't know how we got a signal as what extra time has been played, but certainly referee, I think
that's it.
Did you bring it then? That's just the 2 minutes and half time here, and couldn't be any tighter here, Paul. 6 points for St. Lomans, and Tyrrellspass with thanks to Jerry Egan's goal from the penalty, 1 goal and 3 points. Size level, very much as what we expected. Very tight, Paul. Scores hard to come by, really.
Yeah, no, look, I think Tyrrellspass will be happy with that first half. They prevented Lomans getting off their kind of traditional fast start. I think, from a St. Lomans point of view, look, they've clearly wanted to kind of be really, really tight at the back, and they've been dropping Foy and Fiona Hara out, and as a result, to be honest, their attack and play has suffered a little bit, and opportunities haven't created as many opportunities as they'd like as a result, because John Hesden is isolated inside.
Well, we'll go to the lads on the field, but first of all we're going to have some words from local sponsors, so we go to an ad break and then we'll join Paul down the pitch for their analysis at half time.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. If I ain't got you, ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like, baby. You don't know what it's like.
All new Renault Capture SUV for all your lives.
Yeah, and you're welcome back here. It's half time here in the Sheamurta Senior Football Championship final between St. Lomans, Mullingar and Tyrrellspass. Levelled you Devils, Alan, 1-3 to 6 points. Let's be honest about it. It wasn't the greatest advertisement for football in the world, but at the same time, it's still exciting and it's still in the melting pot here.
No, it's an intriguing battle now, Paul, to be honest. It's been played at a ferocious pace now, but it's sort of blocking up outside the 45 both ends. A lot of mistakes by both teams. But I'd say Tyrrellspass would probably be a little bit happier of the two teams to be going in a level at half time.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there, Alan. I think Tyrrellspass blown away here in the first few minutes, and we're going to go to the highlights of the game here from the first half. There wasn't too many of them, I suppose. Only 10 scores in total of it, but most of them points from John Heslin for St. Lomans. 5 points, 3 from frees and 2 from play, and he's really been the go-to man for them so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He sure is. He's deadly. In fairness to him, he's after scoring 2 nearly identical points. Sidestep off to the right and turn back onto the left, and two identical points and 2 great scores, because he is marking Jamie Ganood, who I believe is probably one of the top defenders in the county, and he's as sticky as you'll get. Down the other end, Aaron O'Brien is after scoring
shooting the lights out.
2 absolute whopper up
worldies.
And Jerry Egan, in fairness to him, debatable whether it was a penalty or not. I'm not too sure. You were fairly sure it was a penalty. I wasn't so sure.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the referee gave it, and he dispatched.
Yeah, and looking back at it, Alan, I'm not quite as sure as I was the first time I saw it. I thought in real time it looked an absolute penalty, but looking back at the replay of it, I'm not totally convinced that it was. But then again, I'm not closest to it. Pat Fox is the referee, and he's closest to the spot. And
yeah, listen, I thought it was harsh, but listen, at the end of the day, the referee has to make a split-second decision, and in fairness, he blew it, and if you get a penalty, you have to put it away, and Jerry Egan did that.
Oh my God, put it away. He nearly took the net over it. I was expecting some of the Dunn store staff to be coming out with the noise of it clattering out the back.
Yeah. In fairness, 2 highlights I thought from both ends. I think Paddy Dowell is after intercepting a world of ball going into the Tyrrellspass full backline. Like I was saying earlier on before the game, that you need someone to set the tone, and by God he did that. Absolutely. In the first couple of minutes. He fairly put his body on the line and stopped Tyrrellspass still, and down the far end, the amount of ball that Dennis Glennon is getting
unbelievable
on and coming out with it. Like he's playing beyond his years, in fairness to him. Like he's unbelievable, and the fitness of him getting up and down the field, and a lot of talking.
And he just seems to be everywhere, Alan. No matter where the ball is going, he seems to be the Johnny on the spot there.
Yeah, he's well able to read the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just
much like someone at the far end,
for someone to play a position like that, like the far end with Paddy, the 2 boys are able to read the game, and that's why they're getting on so much ball.
Yeah, and having said that, there's a couple of other players that have shone for me in particular. Adam Flanagan, I think, has had a very good start for Tyrrellspass. He caught a couple of great balls there at the centre of the field.
Yeah,
he seems to be.
He's decent in the air, isn't he? And he set up the penalty there. He was a good catch from the kick out in the middle of the field. A couple of Lomans lads around him, and he turned and just launched it in. And
yeah, he didn't wait. He kicked it straight in.
I said to you, it's a bad ball to kick in on top of David Glennon. But listen, it worked out in the end, and they got a penalty out and scored it. But listen, it's all going to come down to it's a tactical battle here at the minute, and it's going to come down to that again in the second half.
Yeah, and interesting to note, we were lauding in our praise of Ronan O'Toole before the start of the game. As I've said on many occasions, the puppet master, the string puller for St. Lomans, hasn't been very effectual in this game so far, Alan.
No, but in fairness, now Conor Slevin he's in his boots. He's not giving him an inch.
And when you say in his boots, you mean literally in his boots.
Yeah,
I've looked at it a few times there now, and
he probably is being over physical. But at the end of the day, if the referee's letting you away with being over physical, why don't you do it? You know, it's all about winning at the end of the day. It's not like I'm not condoning dirty play, and to be honest, it's not dirty play. He's pulling and
but he's very tight,
and he's very tight, and that's what Tyrrellspass need. They need all their defenders like that for the second half.
Well, I suppose if you're the marquee forward for the team, you're going to have to expect that at some stage during the championship, or certainly during some stage during the game. And in fairness, Conor Slevin is really sticking to his task. Like.
Absolutely. And listen, I'm pretty sure that Ronan knew this was going to happen. Like, he goes out every day and he knows, and he's playing inter-county senior football for the last 3 or 4 years. He knows this is going to happen to him on a day like today. The same as John Heslin knows that he's going to get the same the other end, and Jerry Egan and David Glennon the same end. They're going to be marked tightly, and that's what it's all about. It's all about who gets the better of those intriguing battles.
Yeah, just on that first half, Alan, both of us watching it from the press box, maybe not the most enjoyable game, but as you said, a very tactical battle, and it's intriguing to watch the tactics of both sides.
Yeah, and it's probably going to come down to, Paul, who makes the least amount of mistakes. Like, it's all about, like, if you start trying to tread the ball through the eye of a needle, a lot of the time it's not going to work out for you, and it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, and completely different to the 3 games we've seen already this weekend. I mean, they were all open type football, no mass defences. This is a completely different type of a game, and I suppose it's no more than we should have really expected. I suppose Tyrrellspass, after conceding so much in that first encounter in the group games this year, they certainly weren't going to allow Lomans get that lightning of a start again.
No, like at this stage, a couple of months ago when they played in the first round, Lomans had 3 goals scored already. Like, that's not going to happen today. Like, it's county final day. Teams are going to put their bodies on the line, and that's what the Tyrrellspass lads have to do. This is going to be tight throughout for the next 15 minutes, and then it'll open up, and then you'll be running lads off the bench. And let's be honest about it, the benches aren't as strong as they were down through the years, but it's the lads that are on the bench that are going to make the difference.
No, but it's going to be an intriguing second half here, and Alan, we're really looking forward. I know I'm definitely really looking forward to this, because I think we could have a cracking game here before the end. So we're going to hand you straight back now to our commentary team, to Ray Gavin and Paula Hearn on commentary up in the stand there, and we'll be back with you after the game. I hope you're enjoying this game on the RVTV, folks.
Paul, we're back to us here on the commentary position again. And Paul, during the break there, we were just given a very interesting stat there by one member of the press there. This is the fourth final that St. Lomans and Tyrrellspass have played against each other since 2013. 2013, 16, 2017 and today. And that's the first goal that Tyrrellspass have scored.
Yeah, from a penalty, and indeed, the earlier game in the first round of the championship, I don't think Tyrrellspass scored a goal that day either, and Lomans have been scoring goals in every game they've played against them, but no goal so far for St. Lomans. So there's a substitution there.
Yeah. I think it's on the Tyrrellspass side. It's number 17, Brian Slevin, has been introduced for Val Siskis, but we'll watch as the ball is thrown in there by referee Pat Fox, and Foley Indy is charging down the centre of the field, still going. He's on the 20-metre line, drops the ball just as he came to the 20-metre line, and good defensive play there by Tyrrellspass men. They finally got the grips on him as he got into the danger area, and they turn it over there, and the ball is now with Jerry Egan on Tyrrellspass' own 65-metre line. Lovely ball out to side, looking for Dean McNicholas, the chauffeur. Dean has the ball out in front of the full back there, does very well, comes back inside, gives it off to the man that has been introduced. That's Brian Slevin. Brian off to David Lennon. David heads towards the corner and then spins around, gives it back to Adam Flanagan. Adam, ball in one hand, couple of St. Lomans players around, a beautiful ball inside. Kieran Garrity trying to make a use of himself there, but he's dispossessed there by Kelvin Riley. Good work by Kelvin, didn't commit the foul there, and again St. Lomans turn it over, and they're coming forward with it again here. They have it here now out in the centre, where the centre half back is Ryan Jones, and Ryan gives it over to Kelvin Riley, and Kelvin switches it across the far side of the field where Conor Donoghue is really playing in the right half back position, but he comes forward, gives it inside to Sam McCartan. Sam lifts the head, trying to find John Hesson in there. John steps out in front of Dennis Lennon, but can't get the ball in the hand, but manages to hold possession. I think that might even be Fiona O'Hara. Gives it back now. John Hesson is on the ball this time. John with 4 or 5 maroon jerseys around and gives it on to Sam McCartan. Sam looks up and sees that there's a man in a lot of space in there. That's the wing half back. He's coming inside. Probably should have pulled the trigger to pull it over the bar as he held on to it, and he's tackled well there by the Tyrrellspass back there, Jamie Ganu. The ball is on the ground. It's a scrum in there. The referee is looking for it. What's he going to do? Is he going to call for the ball? I think he is here. But certainly Conor Donoghue, he had sneaked in behind the Tyrrellspass back, and a great chance of taking a score there.
He cut back outside, and if he kept going straight, he probably would have drawn even the keeper out and been able to fist it across the square for a goal opportunity, I think.
From the throw-in ball, as Tyrrellspass that win it, and the foul committed by St. Lomans there, and the free out going to be taken by Aaron O'Brien there. Right back in the back line there, Aaron gives it on to Jamie Ganood and takes the return pass, and Jamie has the ball again, and Jamie looks up and sees that Dennis is in a lot of space over here in the centre. He gets the head up as he normally does with Dennis, and gives it on here to Adam Flanagan. Adam into Nigel Hart. Nigel carries the ball forward, gives it off to David Lynham, and then he loops around and takes the return pass into the St. Lomans half of the field, holds that possession. Nice ball into Kieran Garrity. Kieran looking for somebody to make the move inside, holds the possession, gives it back to Conor Slevin. Conor, little pop pass in as far as Jerry Egan. Jerry's on the 45-metre line, has a look at the post, backs himself. That was a huge kick there from Jerry Egan. Brilliant kick. Fabulous goal there from Jerry Egan. Just had one look at the post, had one thing on his mind, Paul, over the bar with it.
That was a fantastic score, and he cleared it over the top of the post. Really well worked score.
Yeah, St. Lomans have worked the kick out short. Paddy Dowdall on here to Peter Foy, and Peter in towards the number 15, Fiona O'Hara. Fiona did very well there, held that ball, and a chance now for Fiona with this kick. It's going to be just inside the 45. Got it all wrong there, that Fiona O'Hara, because he had made a great catch there, but certainly not the finish that was required there, and a bad wide there by the number 15. And St. Lomans.
Yeah, sometimes when players catch those marks inside 45, they want to kind of line it up and take that free kick opportunity, but sometimes it's just, I think sometimes it's not always on, particularly the more challenging ones from further outside.
Yeah, trying to force the kick there, but the ball is kicked out. That's a super grab out there by Foley. Foley comes forward, has couple of players in support. One of them coming onto the ball is Ron O'Toole. Takes on a couple of Tyrrellspass men coming inside. Has a look at the post and uses the right foot this time and fires it over the bar. Lovely reply there from the St. Lomans centre half forward, Ron O'Toole. Certainly St. Lomans will want to get him onto the ball more in the more dangerous areas.
Yeah, I think Tyrrellspass did a reasonable job in closing him down in the first half, and for St. Lomans they really want to get rolling on the ball an awful lot more. It looks like he's playing a bit further up the field in the second half, as is Peter Foy. So they should be able to create more scoring opportunities from play, certainly.
Yeah, the ball kicked out there by Darren Quinn is broken back into the Tyrrellspass half of the field, but Dennis Lennon is coming on to take that pass from Nigel Hart, and Dennis holds on to the ball, does very well, sees that there's a spare man here in Jamie Ganood, and Jamie on then to Aaron O'Brien, and Aaron in a little bit of space, just time to play with the ball for himself, and goes back towards his own goals, and then just gives a little ball on to Brian Slevin, Brian to Adam Flanagan, and suddenly a little bit of space opens up. Peter Foy trying to close that space down, but Kieran Garrity shown well from the corner forward position, gets a lovely ball in front of David Lennon. David gives it off to Dean McNicholas. Dean hops the ball but then drops the ball, but he managed to slide in, and could even be a dangerous ball there, but Ryan Jones was alert to that there, because Brian Slevin had continued his run, even though it looked like he wasn't going to get the ball, but suddenly almost got on to that one, and turn over there quickly by St. Lomans, and Ronan O'Toole has it. Ronan taking on Jamie Corcoran, he's heading in towards the 20 metre line, shrugs off the Tyrrellspass man, he's coming inside, great work from Ronan O'Toole, gives the ball inside, there's an opportunity here, ball, Conrad Riley I think it was that got the fist on it, but referee allows the play to go on there, but certainly St. Lomans took a little bit too much out of that. I felt Paul with a great chance there. John Heston probably he could even be
very unselfish,
being too unselfish really there, but led off certainly for Tyrrellspass, and they have the chance now to turn it over, and great block down there by Conor O'Donoghue on Brian Slevin, and turn it over again, and Fola coming with the ball now. John, he tried to make amends for that one, he has the ball, holding it up, spins around, looks up and sees there's a spare man over on the far side. That's the full back, that's Darragh O'Keefe coming forward, just steadies it up, holds the ball, gives it over there to the far side of the field where Sam McCartan as the stand comes inside again. Peter Foy gives a fisted ball inside to where Fola Irindi has a Fola working it back. It's with Sean Flanagan here now. Sean looking at what's in front of him here, then decides to go right because there's a spare man over on the far side there. I think that's Kelvin Riley, and a little bit of space over. In fact, it might be the full back that's out there, hasn't decided to go back towards his own goal, but Kelvin is on it now and holds the possession and waiting for Conrad Riley to come on the loop. Conrad takes the ball into tackle. Peter Foy is there to help him. Peter has dropped the ball on the ground, but St. Lomans lucky to get that one back in, but Tyrrellspass tacked him very hard. St. Lomans man pushed to the ground, but the referee signalled that took too much out of the play there. Certainly I don't think there was much that St. Lomans man could do about that with the amount of bodies that was around him, and good work there, and ball turned over and the free for Tyrrellspass taken, and they're on the break again and coming forward again. Good work there by Nigel Hart. Nigel runs into a lot of traffic and dispossessed and that there, and Paddy Dowdle is there to take that ball away. Paddy coming forward, goes into the centre where Conrad Riley has the ball. Conrad moving forward with it, has a spare man over on the far side of the field. We will look down below since there's a sub about being introduced, but St. Lomans holding the possession. Ronan O'Toole has it again, trying to shrug off Jamie Corcoran, comes inside, a couple of Tyrrellspass men going for him, gets the ball away as far as Peter Foy. Peter with the shot, it's high, and the umpire signals that's over the bar. The first score for Peter Foy in this final, and St. Lomans back in the lead now, 8 points to Tyrrellspass's 1 goal and 4 points, and certainly some coming in here. It's Rory Sheehan, he was listed to start and he has been introduced. We'll see who's coming off in a second.
Yeah, no, I think Rory's an exciting player, like really drives forward. Here's the goal opportunity. John Hesden across the square, and Tyrrellspass had players back on the line. They were able to catch it and clear it. John was very unselfish there. If he slotted it low, I think he could have got a goal. Yeah, or even, absolutely, or even maybe probably had taken the point himself. But the man that's been replaced is Conrad Riley. He's the man that's going off. But we'll watch as the play. The kick out is taken. Ball broken down in the centre, picked up by Aaron O'Brien, but tried to get the ball away, and Lomans step in there on Foley Irindi. He has it, gives it on to Sean Flanagan. Sean, little ball inside to the man that just has come on as a sub. Lovely ball inside, a chance here, but a great block there by the Tyrrellspass man. That was Ronan O'Toole there.
had a sniff of a shot at the goal there for a second, but great defending there by Tyrrellspass, and they get the bodies back here, and Aaron O'Brien has the ball. The referee said the foul was committed. Looked like he went to the ground very easy, but the referee is the man that's out there, and the free is given to Aaron O'Brien, and Aaron fires it on then to Dean McNicholas. Dean trying to play a long ball and trying to find David Lennon, but in over the top it goes, and Paddy Dowdle is there, and Paddy gives the ball over the far side to Kelvin Riley, and Lomans coming forward, 5 men in the line heading up that far side of the field. Peter Foy joins them now, comes inside to Sam McCartan, in again, good work inside. St. Lomans coming forward, it is the number 12 there, trying to get space to get the shot, turns around and almost nonchalantly with the left foot curls down over the bar. I think Tyrrellspass thought the danger was over there with Sam McCartan.
They pushed him out of the tight angle, and he just turned and swung it over with his left. But Lomans definitely in the ascendancy at the moment. They're winning most of the possession in the middle third, and they're using that as a platform to go forward from there.
There's a player down out in the centre of the field there. David Whelan, the number 4, has gone to ground. I don't think there's anything much in it, but there's Physio just making his way in, and certainly Tyrrellspass player better off just to move away from that instant, but the ball is on the 20 metre line. Darren Quinn is the man that's going to take the kick out. Referee, I think Paul is just going over there to have a word with the linesman. Don't think there was anything much in that. Didn't see it anyway. I don't know how I didn't see it.
I mean, in general, so far in the game, there's a little bit of stuff going off the ball. Fellas blocking each other's runs, pulling each other back, and so on. And it's probably just one of those instances.
Kick out is taken short by Darren Quinn. Play underway there to Dennis Lennon, and Dennis gives it on here now to Conor Slevin, who hands it off to Jamie Ganood, and Jamie looks up trying to get Kieran Geraghty on the possession, but ball slips through his hands, and as it came to ground, off his foot and out over the sideline, and it's a line ball for St. Lomans right back inside their own 13 metre line, and it's taken already because Kelvin Riley is charging out there with the ball again. Gives it over to the far side where Sam McCartan scored that last point. Sam heading towards the Tyrrellspass goal, does very well, lifts the head and sees that Peter Foy is on the run. Peter from the 45 metre line. Oh, we're getting an exhibition of point scoring. That's a quality score from the number 13 there.
Just sat in the pocket on the 45 and just off the outside of his right foot, straight as an arrow, right over the goal.
Yeah, no, as you say, right over the goal. Probably had another 15 yards as spare. Great kick there by the number 13. Man that was just introduced into the St. Lomans setup, and a lovely score there.
Yeah, no, he took that one very, very well, and Tyrrellspass need to get a score now, get themselves back in this game. The momentum's going against them for sure.
Yeah, and they need even the water break to come up at this stage, but David Lynham did very well to get that kick out and gives it back to Conor Slevin. Conor runs into a tackle, comes forward, and the referee said it is going to be a foul. And by the time the free is taken, he'll probably have gained about 10 yards on it, but it is a free. It's free for Aaron O'Brien, and Tyrrellspass is back inside their own 65 metre line. Aaron just looking for options all around him. Tyrrellspass quite content to hold the possession, give it back to Nigel Hart. Nigel gives it back to Aaron O'Brien. He takes the return pass, comes into a tackle there from Ronan O'Toole, bounces off and has a man in space over on the far side. That's Jamie Ganood. Jamie coming forward. 3 points between the sides. Remember, St. Lomans 10 points, Tyrrellspass 1 goal and 4 points. Jamie Ganood gives the ball off to Dean McNicholas. Dean gives it inside, and Jerry Egan gets into the play. Jerry coming forward, heavy tackle on Jerry there, and the referee said a foul was committed there, and it's going to be a free for Tyrrellspass about 55 metres out from the St. Lomans goal, and it's a St. Lomans man that's gone to ground. That's Follier in the, don't know what happened there, but certainly
I think he hurt himself tackling Jerry Egan. He came off second best.
All right, Paul.
The tackles are getting more physical, and the game is in the mix, and I think the temperature's going up for sure. And there's a yellow card for him for that tackle.
Yeah, I think you said it earlier on, Paul. He was lucky, and he had a couple of different ones, couple of different tackles there in the first half that were high and got away with them. But certainly, referee has seen enough from Fall, and he's gone into the book. And Jerry Egan now trying to punish St. Lomans on the double with this free. It's just outside the 45 metre line, but certainly well within Jerry's range. Taking his time now as he comes forward, and certainly Tyrrellspass badly needed this score from the 45. Kicks it high, it's dropping in, it's dropping, it's all the way over the bar. Lovely kick there from
Jerry Egan,
the team cap there. Lovely score there from that free. Lovely score from Jerry. Certainly Tyrrellspass needed that because St. Lomans had been kicking on and pushing forward there, but The kick out now again for Jason Daly. Like you said, Paul, certainly the temperature has risen a little bit, and from the kick out, a little bit of a misunderstanding there by the full back there, mishandled the ball there, but he did well to get a foot on it and hold the possession, and then gets it down to Paddy Dowdle. Paddy heading into St. Lomans, or the Tyrrellspass end of the field, gives it off to Ronan O'Toole. Ronan takes on Jamie Corcoran. He's gone by Jamie Corcoran. He's still going, coming in towards the 20-metre line. Not foul there, but John Heston comes out to help him. John, couple of Tyrrellspass men on his back, gets the shot away. The dangerous ball is dropping in, but Dennis Lennon very cool under that ball there, judged it perfectly as it was coming spinning down on top of him, and got the hand on it. And there is John Heston, he's gone to ground over there. Don't know did he get a hit there when he was getting that shot away, but certainly Tyrrellspass are throwing the bodies on the line here, certainly.
Yeah, I know they put him under an awful lot of pressure with that when he was trying to get that shot off. Didn't see exactly how he hurt himself in the process of it, but it looked like he shipped a heavy tackle as he was kicking it. He was a bit off balance striking it, and he didn't get as much power in it as he liked, and it just dropped into the square where Dennis Lennon was waiting.
Yeah, Dennis has been very influential here. We see a sub coming on to the Tyrrellspass team there while the breaking play is going on, and it's Thomas Ryan. Thomas was listed at number 13, and the man that started in his place is Kieran Geraghty, is now gone off, and Thomas certainly had a good year for Tyrrellspass too, always good for a score or two in a game here. But the play ready to get underway, and Dennis Lennon has taken the free and has the ball now on the 20-metre line, again slowing it down, orchestrating where he wants players to run, and Adam Flanagan makes himself available, and Adam very close to the sideline, spins away from the tackle, and he's coming forward down in front of the tunnel here. A couple of white jerseys on front of him, and gives it back to Aaron O'Brien, and Aaron guides a lovely little ball inside into the man that's just been introduced. That's Thomas Ryan. Thomas taking on his man Ryan Jones. He's gone around him. Ball is on the ground. Was it touched on the ground? Thought it was there, but the referee doesn't see it that way, and St. Lomans turned the ball over inside there, back in their own 13-metre line. Conor Donoghue's the man that's coming away with it now. Conor holding that possession, slowing it right down, has support over there, and the ball shoveled back inside to David Whelan, and David has Kelvin Riley running beside him, and then Kelvin straightens the line to take the pass from him and shrugs off a tackle and comes forward. Very strong player. The full back is out there. That's Darragh O'Keefe. He's coming forward. He's a long way from the edge of the square. He's on the Tyrrellspass 45-metre line. Just gives it on to John. John Heston holds that possession, and back to Kelvin. Kelvin having a look, no options to come left, and goes back to David Whelan again, and David takes the return pass there, and Sean Flanagan stepping in there to help him, and Kelvin Riley now on the ball. Kelvin holding the possession back as far as Conor Donoghue. Conor just holding the possession, looking for somebody to make a move. St. Lomans leading by those 2 points there, quite content to play around with it, and Conor Donoghue does very well, flicks the ball off into space and gets on the ball himself, and then turns around and gives it off to Sean Flanagan at pace. Sean coming inside, bursting inside, he's on the 20-metre line. There's 3 or 4 Tyrrellspass men around. The referee, I don't think he's blown the whistle, but the ball is kicked in there. I thought it had gone wide, but the umpire stands back and says the play goes on, and the ball is cleared out by Tyrrellspass again. Great work by the backline in there. They're sticking to their task, and Ger Egan now has the ball. Ger heading towards the St. Lomans 45-metre line, gives the ball inside where Nigel Hart comes on to. Nigel is inside the 45. David Lennon on the loop around, back to Ger Egan. Ger has a look. There was half an opportunity to get a ball through to Thomas Ryan in space, but gives it back to Conor Slevin. Conor coming forward, runs into a hefty tackle there from Paddy Dowdle, and Paddy is not too happy about that, and the referee says it's going to be a free, Paddy, and that's it, a free for Conor Slevin, and a free on the 20-metre line, and an opportunity now for Tyrrellspass to narrow the gap to the bare minimum. This free for Ger Egan certainly would have suited a left-footed kicker, maybe even Conor Slevin, but Conor took a hefty hit that time, and physio comes in here, but Conor looks like he's limping back into place, but Ger Egan, he's the man with the ball in his hand, a goal and 3 points to his name so far, and Ger just leaves the ball on the ground. He's going to take this free, and certainly well within Ger's range. Great free taker, great man to judge the angles there. He'll curl this one around and let it off at the right hand, the nearest post, and draw it in off that now as he comes forward with the right foot. Does exactly that, and is swinging across, but unfortunately for Ger, I guess it's the old commentator's curse, Paul Ahern.
That was a difficult one for a right-footed kicker.
It was, but I still back Ger Egan to kick it, but that's the last action of third quarter. We have water break. Certainly this is still very much in the melting pot.
Oh yeah, no, Lomans in that third quarter really dominated possession, created a few good opportunities for themselves, created a real good goal scoring opportunity which they didn't get, and they look to be on top, but they're not getting the scores. Tyrrellspass are being, when they get up, they've got one, they might get another. There was a bad wide with the free there from Ger's perspective, but they're hanging in there, if the truth be told. They don't have many. It's actually the opposite of the first half. Up the Dunstores end, there's a lot of bodies, a lot of people in there. Davy Glennon's been very much isolated inside on the Lomans square with 2 or 3 Lomans players around him. When the ball gets up, it's coming out nearly as quickly.
Yeah, we're having a look at both sides there as the respective mentors with their last words of wisdom, and that's their last chance now for probably 2020, Paul, for the words of wisdom to come in from the mentors, because remember, as the championship finishes, that's the end of it for these club players. No Leinster championship to look forward to or anything like that, but certainly there's nobody thinking any further than the next 15 minutes here now, because the ball is down and with Jason Daly. Jason heading towards the 20-metre line as the Tyrrellspass forwards come back out into position. There is a sub on for Tyrrellspass at number 26, Cormac Rigney. I don't know who's gone off. Was it Conor Slavin that's gone off there now? We see a couple of adjustments maybe being made here.
Yeah, Conor Slavin went off. He indicated he was injured there just before the water break.
Yeah, the kick out worked well here to Peter Foy. Peter does very well to get that in front of his man, gives the ball inside to David Whelan. David gambled a little bit there because that ball was waiting just to be intercepted there, but did very well for his side, and it's gone over the far side of the field where Paddy Dowdle is marauding up along that side. Slows it down, dummies to give the ball away to a teammate, and then holds it and gives it to Ronan O'Toole. Ronan back to Sean Flanagan. Sean coming central with it. Peter Foy is making himself available, and he's going to take this ball again. St. Lomans slowing it right down, trying to work the perfect opportunity, have the possession as they come back away from the Tyrrellspass goals, and Paddy Dowdle has it there, and Paddy gives it on now to Kelvin Riley, and Kelvin coming forward with it, left footed solo, about to take on a Tyrrellspass man, then comes inside, just holds on to it, holds the possession. St. Lomans keeping that possession. They're very calm and very controlled in possession. Ball is given over by Sean Flanagan here to the centre half back Ryan Jones, and Ryan comes across to the left where he has support from Conor Dunno. Conor being squeezed, takes on Adam Flanagan. Looked like he was being pushed to the ground. Referee doesn't see it there. Yes, he does. Yeah, certainly there. A free for St. Lomans, but certainly a dangerous game there by Conor Dunham, because as he took on Adam Flanagan, if he was being dispossessed, it wouldn't be the best place in the world to do it, is for sure, Paul Ahern. But he got away with it, he got fouled, and Conor has the free taken. He has the ball now in with Sean Flanagan. Sean went very central, then stopped, give it back to Paddy Dowd. Paddy, so experienced player, gives the ball in now to David Whelan, coming on the charge from the left corner back position, takes on Thomas Ryan, has a player coming on the loop and gets Kelvin Riley into the play now. Kelvin across the 45 off to Fola. Half thought about taking a shot, gives it to John Heston. John trying to shrug Jamie Ganood out of the way. Jamie doing very well, forces him to the ground, ball given back inside. St. Lomans carrying the ball into the traffic. Kelvin Riley did well to hold the possession, to give it back to Fola back now as far as Ronan O'Toole. Lovely jink from Ronan to get himself a little bit of space. He's still going in at the Tyrrellspass goal, tackled harder, goes the ground. Referee allowing the play to go on. The ball is returned back out there, and was that Kelvin Riley? I think
Kelvin
it was.
Riley, yeah, no, that was the 2 or 3 opportunities there, and Tyrrellspass defended valiantly, but Lomans were very, very patient, kept recycling the ball, and Ronan O'Toole ran, turned it back out, and Kelvin Riley put it over the bar. I think at this stage the question for Tyrrellspass is, when do they release Dennis Lennon from that kind of sweeper role where he's sitting in the back line, because they really need a bit of go forward ball and a bit of momentum to trouble Lomans at this stage, certainly in the possession stakes.
Yeah, surely they won this kick out, and the ball is fired in by Aaron O'Brien on to Dean McNicholas. Dean doing very well, gives a little ball inside, but Paddy Dowdle was reading that one just like a book, and he stepped in there in front of the Tyrrellspass man and wins the possession back for his side, and Sam McCartan has the ball. Sam going down the far side of the field, and Kelvin Riley is certainly playing a lot more forward now, driving in at this Tyrrellspass backline. He's on the 20-metre line, he's got the last score, holds the possession, works it back. They're ahead by 3 points, 1 goal and 5 points for Tyrrellspass, 11 for St. Lomans. They hold on to possession again. Good work here by Sean Flanagan. Sean, he's going to back himself with the left foot. He was under pressure there. But again, an opportunity, probably wasn't the right man pulling the trigger there, Paul, but he had to take the chance. It was there in front of him.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies in front of him, and you just kind of end up having to shoot from outside in those situations where teams drop back on you, and you know, they're just more difficult chances.
Yeah, Dennis Lennon taking the short kick out there from Darren Quinn, and does very well there. Gets a nice fisted pass on to Ger Egan, and Ger on there to the number 13, I think it was. No, it was Thomas Ryan there, but Thomas a little bit wild with that one, and certainly not the thing that Tyrrellspass needed at this stage, because they need the scores. There's 3 points between the sides. 1 goal and 5 points there for Tyrrellspass, 11 for St. Lomans. But there's an injured player down here for St. Lomans. I think it might be Cramp, is it? I don't know who's down on the ground.
Ryan Jones.
Is it Ryan Jones, the number 6 there? There is a sub being introduced here. That's number 21 there. That's Kevin Regan, the man to be seen introduced. But
Ryan Jones is coming off, and Kevin Regan's coming on.
There'll be a few adjustments to be made in the St. Lomans defence there, but certainly the number 6 making his way off the field here, suffering from cramp. And the ball is with Jason Daly on the 20-metre line, and players making a run as Jason fires it out right-footed. Ball is hanging, broken down, and great heads-up play there by the St. Lomans man. That was Sean Flanagan, didn't get involved, but the whole thing stood and waited for the ball to break down, and he picked up the break, and St. Lomans have it with Ronan O'Toole. Ronan holding the possession, gives the ball inside to Paddy Dowdle. Paddy almost from a standing position gives the ball off here, and St. Lomans build again, and Rory Sheehan, Rory number 2, gives it on now to Peter Foy. Peter holding that possession, back to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin thought about giving it down the line and then decides to take on his man. That's Dean McNicholas, surely being fouled, but great strength there from Kelvin to hold that possession, gives it off to Peter Foy, and Peter did very well to find a couple of yards of space and gets it in there to Kevin Regan, and Kevin over across the field. It goes to Conor Donoghue. St. Lomans on the move because Kevin Regan can see a lot of space in front of him, and he's gone into that space now. He's gone across the Tyrrellspass 45-metre line, but then holds it up, and John Heston comes along, calls him, give it to me, and John has it. John then bursts of speed here from John. A lot of men coming around. John gets the ball inside, coming through the shot. Oh, great save from Darren Quinn. Oh, that was all about John Heston there. We saw a cameo. What play from what.
I just say he took that from about 21 yards and soloed in, and you know, he bet 3 or 4 fellas. I think he probably just ran out of steam at the end. The shot was probably not as strong as he'd like it to be, and Darren Quinn stood up well and managed to push the ball around the post.
Yeah, it was, and you know, there's a sub-aft being introduced here for Tyrrellspass. It's number 20, Evan Connell, and the man that's going off is David Lennon. But Fola with the 45, but Fola's 45 is not on target. No problem with the distance, and certainly a lead off there for Tyrrellspass as we enter into the last 3.5 minutes of this game.
David Lennon's gone off, and Cormac Rigney's in for him.
Cormac Rigney's in. I think Evan Connell, where number 20 has just been introduced as well. But we'll watch as Darren Quinn. Darren goes short, low ball to Dennis Lennon. Maybe a suspicion of taking it off the ground there, but Dennis has gone on the ground. The referee has signalled a free out. Didn't signal with his arm, but I presume it was a free given because Dennis gets up and gives the ball back to Jamie Ganood, and Jamie has the ball. Gives it on here now to Brian Slevin, introduced at half time. Remember, Stephen Quinn on the ball here. Tyrrellspass. No, but that's the way they're working. They'll hold the possession now. They're coming forward with it. Nigel Hart comes in, draws the tackle, comes forward then. He tackled hard and he's dispossessed there. Great work there by the number 2 there. That's Rory Sheehan. Rory gives it off to Fola Irindi. Fola going forward. Stephen Quinn trying to get a hand on it, force him back from the Tyrrellspass goals. Back to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin takes on his man again. Being held very close to the side, and a couple of Tyrrellspass men around him. He's got away from one of them. He's got away from 2 of them. Looked like there was a hand trip on him there. The referee doesn't see it that way because he allowed the play to go on, and Tyrrellspass win the possession back, and Thomas Ryan back 45 metres out from his own goals, and he's heading down the centre of the field. Couple of St. Lomans men after him. One of them is Sam McCartan. Sam commits the foul. Free, tried to be taken quickly, and good heads up play there from Thomas Ryan there because he's now gained an extra 15 yards, and this kick now certainly within Ger Egan's range. 3 points between the sides. I expect Ger will go take the score here, but the opportunity now definitely to take it, definitely keep that scoreboard moving. 11 points for St. Lomans, 1 goal and 5. That's 8 for Tyrrellspass. Ger Egan with this ball in his hand. He's inside the St. Lomans 45-metre line, and this certainly is within his range.
Really crucial kick now just to keep Tyrrellspass in it, but 2 minutes to go and a bit of injury time. In truth, I think Tyrrellspass need a goal at this stage.
Yeah, well, Jerry Egan has kicked
what,
this one. It's
is it
dropping in. The umpire looks at it. Yes, just managed to squeeze it inside the post there. From our angle, it looked like it was very tight, but Jerry judged it to perfection, and it's over the bar. 2 points now between the sides. St. Lomans certainly now not in any hurry with the kick out. Jason Daly makes his way to the 20-metre line. This kick going to be taken out now is crucial. Every possession at this stage is crucial. Goalkeeper does very well, goes short, finds Kelvin Riley. Kelvin, very strong, very steady player, back to his teammate and the hurling teammate, remember as well, Paddy Dowdle. Paddy lifts up the head and sees that David Whelan is in a little bit of space, and David is charging down the middle of the field. Couple of Tyrrellspass men trying to get onto him, but he has John Heston in support. John off to Sean Flanagan over the far side of the field, holding the possession. Good work there by the St. Lomans men. John Heston is on the ball again. John heading towards the 20-metre line, coming forward, looking for the loop around runner. Ball given back as far as Kevin Regan. Kevin gives it inside to Fola. Fola mishandles it, tries to retain the possession. Good work by Tyrrellspass. Was a touch on the ground. Referee doesn't see it now. I don't think he's seen it, but he's allowing the play to go on. There's a lot of men on the ground here. Ball was a touch on the ground. I think it was. Referee just holding the play up because there's an injury to Fola. But certainly a mishandle there, and all these errors are crucial because the pressure is going to come back down. We're almost, the 30 minutes have just elapsed on the clock. Paul, we're waiting for the signal. I don't know what injury time has been added, but certainly a 2-point lead. Is it a dangerous lead, is it?
It's very, very dangerous now. I mean, but defensively in the second half, Lomans have looked very, very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. They've dealt with most of the Tyrrellspass attacks, and there hasn't been that many of them. So in reality, it's last throw of the dice now for Tyrrellspass. Can they get up and get a goal?
Fola is the man that's on the ground. Fola, you're indeed. Big man out there, has put in a good shift for his side, but he's on the 45-metre line and he committed the foul, and Dennis Lennon is the man that has the ball in his hand. Dennis will hope to get this ball into play and get it down the field. We'll see what the signal is going to be from the referee in a second for the additional time there, because it's just been signalled to the linesman, but we'll watch the play as Dennis Lennon takes that free and goes short, gives it out to Brian Slevin. Brian makes his way across to the centre of the field where Dennis Lennon steps out. Tyrrellspass need him to come forward with this ball. Does very well. Holds the possession from Kevin Regan. Gives the ball inside. There's 4 minutes to be added. Jamie Corcoran is on the ball over that far side of the field. Nigel Hart gives it to Adam Flanagan. The two Rahue men combining very well here. They have the ball. Nigel coming forward with it, gives it off to Aaron O'Brien. Aaron steps inside the tackle, gives the ball inside. Need to work this to one of their main scorers. There's a spare man inside as Thomas Ryan goes route one. Long ball dropping in there, looking for Dean McNicholas. Dean grabs as well. Go back out to Jamie Ganu. Jamie gives the ball inside. There's a chance here. Is this the chance? In the net? Jesus. A great goal. Fabulous. Evan Connell fires it to the back of the net. What a goal. What a time to get a goal. Brilliant play there from the Tyrrellspass men. Manufactured the goal.
What a patient build up from Tyrrellspass, and then that diagonal ball right across the square, and it created the opportunity for them to slip it back out, and what a finish to the net from very, very cool, calm and collected.
Oh, absolutely. Rifle to the back, and what a goal from Evan Connell, young player wearing the number 20. He's just come on with, watch it, there's going to be a yellow card here I think for Dean McNicholas. He's on the ground because he was trying to prevent the St. Lomans men from taking a quick kick out, but he's back on his feet again, and Jason Daly rifled the kick out into the centre. Oh, what a catch out in the middle of the field by David Lynham. What a catch, what a mark call. Wins that mark and takes it himself and gives it off then to Nigel Hart. Clock says 32 minutes, 30 seconds gone, a minute and a half. There's a St. Lomans player on the ground. We said it, Paul, we called it. It's a dangerous lead, and that's how it has turned out, because the ball rifled to the back and net there. Tyrrellspass taking the lead at a crucial time.
Oh, like what a time to score it. And to be honest, I really didn't see them manufacturing a goal. Lomans had an awful lot of players back. They were pushing them out. Tyrrellspass were going lateral, holding possession and so on, and just that high diagonal ball really unlocked everything, and they just had a player coming off the shoulder and finished it, and it's really turned the game on its head. Well, obviously turned the game on its head. We're in injury time and they've gone a point up, and Tyrrellspass or Lomans really need to get possession now. Really need to get possession, get back up the field and just get one more opportunity. There could be one more opportunity in them, and then we could be looking at a draw.
Well, I'm not sure, because I know Tyrrellspass have the experienced players here. Dennis Lennon in particular. Dennis, he'll hold this ball, he'll take the free, he'll be in no rush to take it, and Tyrrellspass are very, very good at retaining possession when they get it, and it can be very frustrating here. And we can see Darren Quinn coming out looking even to take the free, taking the ball from Dennis. But
Fiona Harris injured, he's been carried off. It looks like he's a problem with his ankle, which is disappointing for him, I'm sure.
So being introduced there, was it number 20, Andy Gaffney? I think it was the number that came up, but we'll watch as Dennis about to take this free and goes short and retains the possession, does very well, gives it on there to Jamie Corcoran. Jamie gives it back here to Jamie Ganu. Jamie does very well to hold the possession. St. Lomans are hunting this ball, they need to get a turnover. Dennis does very well, but Jamie Corcoran runs into a tackle, he's turned over there, and St. Lomans have it again. Andy Gaffney and a lot of men around him, but great tackling there by the Tyrrellspass man. They won't give it up, but Kelvin Riley gives it on to Conor Donoghue. Conor takes on his man, heavy tackle on him, the free is blown. The referee.
Tyrrellspass, they just overplayed it in a really, really tight spot. Like, they'd been so better off going back towards the keeper and going back out on the far side in space, and Lomans turned them over. Fantastic tackling and pressure from them, and then Conor Donoghue just attacked and he was pulled down, and here's the kick of the game to draw it. John Heslin.
Well, coming the hour, coming the man. Let's see, what can he do? John Heslin, very experienced player, but certainly all the pressure is on this kick. It has come down for 2020, COVID year, everything else, changing the championship, everything else. This is
there's one man you want kicking, this is John Heslin.
It is one or other, either Jerry Egan or John Heslin you'd want on this chance for St. Lomans, for the equaliser. Tyrrellspass with hearts in their mouth as John comes in and he curls it in, it's curling on. What a score! What a fabulous kick from John Heslin, because that was pressure. I said it maybe just before he took it. Come at the hour, come at the man. John Heslin was the man. The referee is not blown up the whistle yet. We're 35 minutes and 37 seconds gone in this second half. Sides are level. Dennis Lennon coming out with the field, and in fact that's the last action. The last action of the game. The sides end up level on the scoreline of St. Lomans 12 points to Tyrrellspass's 2 goals and 6 points. I'm waiting for confirmation. Are we going to extra time or are we going to a replay?
Extra time.
The word is that we're going to extra time. Oh, we've had a great hour's entertainment there, Paul. That was a great finish to a county final.
I said at the start of the game, I hope it's tight, and we get a right crack in last 10 minutes. Well, we didn't get a right crack in last 10 minutes, but we certainly got a crack in injury time. That was some finish.
Yeah, well, look at Paul. We'll get a chance to draw breath here in the commentary box, but we're going to an ad break then, and then we'll hear from the lads down on the pitch.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shemarta Precast.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. If I ain't got you, ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like, baby. You don't know what it's like.
All new Renault Capture SUV for all your lives.
Well, Alan Mangan, we asked for drama and we certainly got it here at the end of this game. It's levels, you devils. It's 2-6 to Tyrrellspass and 12 points to St. Lomans after 64 odd minutes here. And what a finish to this game.
The last 10 minutes was unbelievable, in fairness, Paul. Listen, it was Tyrrellspass needed a goal.
They looked at him very.
Ball in, and great win in the air by D. McNix. Led it off to Cormac Rigney, and he kept it low and hard. And he only had coming on his sub. But listen, you have to hold out in these games, and unfortunately, to get the ball away, went down, gave away a free, and balls of steel. In fairness,
we're just looking at the goal, Alan. What a finish from Cormac Rigney. When you wanted a man to step up, only as you said, onto the field, and he slots that one away like a lad that was absolutely on fire, and then straight back down the field. St. Lomans, Tyrrellspass looked to have a free, looked like they were going to play attention to the ball, fouled it, and John Heston kicks over an absolute worldie from a very acute angle.
Took a short free, should have given it back to Dennis, who has been unbelievable in this match.
Absolutely.
Dennis Glennon and Paddy Dowdall, two standout players in fairness, but should have given it back to Dennis, didn't, brought the ball into contact, turned over, went soloing through, and then ended up giving away a cheap free, let's be honest about it.
A needless free maybe, Alan.
Needless free, and but in fairness, frees are given away, you have to put them over, they're not just handed to you, and Hess doesn't miss too many.
If you wanted one man in Westmeath, if you wanted one man in Earl to step up and take that style of free, who would be the man you'd pick? It'd be John Heston for me.
But you probably have the two of the best free takers in Leinster playing here today, in Jerry Egan and John Heston, and there's not too many of them going to be missed. Yeah,
and look, it's made for an absolutely tremendous finish to this game, and a tremendously exciting for the few that are here. It's just a pity. I hope you're all watching this on AirVTV and really enjoying it as much as we are. It wasn't the greatest game in the world, let's be honest about it, but there's some wonderful passages of play. A really different game from what we've seen already this weekend, but nonetheless, absolutely thrilling game of football here.
No, it's absolutely brilliant, and it's I know it's not a spectacle in terms of the scores and stuff like that, but it's a spectacle in other ways, in terms of the tactical battle, and like they're both playing sweepers, and to be honest, the two sweepers are the two best players on the field. They're cutting out ball, they're making tackles.
Dennis Glennon and Paddy Dowdall.
Two of them have been outstanding today.
Yeah, and probably the oldest two players in the field as well, I suppose.
They actually are the two oldest players, but it just shows age is only a number.
Anyway, age is only a number. We're going back up to Ray and Paul in commentary. I hope it's as exciting as the last few minutes, lads. Talk us through the end of this game until we get a conclusion here in TEG Cusick Park.
Paul, we've managed to draw breath here in the commentary box here, and getting ready for 2 periods of 10 minutes of extra time. But we said it at half time at the start of the second half that Tyrrellspass had only managed to get that one goal against St. Lomans in 4 or 5 matches, and then like Dublin buses, one comes along, another one comes after, but certainly that second goal looked like it was going to bring the title to the village.
Oh yeah, no, it was so close but yet so far for Tyrrellspass, and I think they'll be disappointed when they look back, and regardless of the result is, they turned the ball over in their own half when they had possession, and they really, I think, should have got it out over the other side, and they would have been able to close the game out. But in credit, Lomans tackled in numbers and really, really hard, and got back and got the opportunity.
Yeah, we're ready and underway with this 2 periods of extra time, and from the first ball is foul committed there on Fola Yorindi, and Fola took the free himself, but then a late tackle in there on the St. Lomans man there. I think it's Peter Foy that's gone to ground, but referee just signalled that it's going to be a free for Ron O'Toole here on Tyrrellspass's 45-metre line. Certainly John Heston will have to talk about that free in the last kick of the match, almost to bring it to a tie, and certainly John Heston for the pressure.
John has a lot of experience of nailing really important frees, and it was a difficult one, but one for him which is probably, I won't say routine because they're never really routine, but it was a tough one.
Yeah, and he's on the free again. This time he fires it inside, but again, great work there by the Tyrrellspass backs there. They just prevented the Lomans man getting that ball, and it goes out harmlessly out over the end line, and Darren Quinn is already on the 20-metre line, ready for the kick out. Darren has kept his goal intact in this game so far with the right foot, launches it out here. A couple of men jump for it, but the ball is broken through there, and David Whelan picks up the breaking ball there, does very well, gives it off now to Paddy Dowdall. Paddy over to Kelvin Riley, and Kelvin to Ronan O'Toole. Ronan has been quiet for the last 15 or so minutes of that original time, but Peter Foy again got a couple of great scores for his side here, building up again, and Ronan O'Toole is on the ball now. slips inside the tackle, still carrying it into traffic there, and St. Lomans men, big hit on Ronan O'Toole there. The referee doesn't see it, sees everything has been legal, that tackle there, and Tyrrellspass turn it over, and Dennis Lennon is coming out with it again and holds the possession, going across the 45. Players going down with cramp at this stage, absolutely to be expected. Huge amount of energy used by both sides. Brian Slevin, he had come on as a sub at half time, he's on the ball, lovely ball in front of Dean McNicholas. Dean is out in front of Darragh O'Keefe with the left foot, takes the shot, the umpires look at it.
Looks like it's a point.
Over the bar? I think it's over the bar. The umpire
Yeah.
taking his time, making his way. That's Dean McNicholas' first score. Good time to get it. Lovely score by Tyrrellspass.
Yeah, no, that was a flowing attack, and Dean was very comfortable, sat back in his left foot and just clipped it over the bar. So Lomans are coming back at it now again.
Yeah, go short with the kick out, and eventually get it as far as John Heston. John right back inside his own 65 metre line. Jamie Ganood following them all over the place, and Peter Foy gives it inside here now to David Whelan. David gives it on again to John Heston again. Has a look around him with the right foot, plays a beautiful ball into the corner, but can Nigel Hart get back and close that space? He does indeed, did very well there, close it down, and Dennis Lennon, as always, has been available, ready to take the short pass, and David Lynham sweeping in there as well, and he gives it out again, and Tyrrellspass breaking out of their own defence there, over on the far side of the field. Everything is Thomas Ryan is the man that had possession, holds the possession. Tyrrellspass trying to get it out. It's very tight. They were punished for playing it so tight at the end of the game, but this time they do very well, get it out into space, and they come forward, and Jamie Ganood in a lot of space here. Nice ball over here to Aaron O'Brien. Aaron holding the possession, takes on his man, beats his man, and he's still going forward, looking for the runner to come off the shoulder. It's the goal scorer, Evan Connell. Evan comes towards the 20 metre line, gives the ball inside, a little bit lazy there. Good work there by Conor O'Donoghue there. Conor kept his eye on the ball, didn't give up on it, and when it was there to be won, he won it, and draws the free there, and St. Lomans have the free already taken there, and they're building down the far side of the field there. Paddy Dowdle shrugs off the tackle there from Thomas Ryan, and he's still going forward, carrying the ball. Rory Sheehan is over there on the ball as well, gives the ball inside. Ronan O'Toole jinks inside, comes across centre into the D. Has he room to get the shot away? He has, but standing in there in front of the goal 10 yards out is Dennis Lennon, and that intercepts that shot and comes away with it, driving out the field with it. Gives the ball inside, but Tyrrellspass man standing waiting for it, and that's not going to happen there. And in fact that was Jerry Egan that was caught there, but John Heston robs him, and John has the ball now, trying to get into a little bit of space, but Ronan O'Toole has. Ronan with the left foot takes the shot.
That's outrageous.
Oh, that's an outrageous score.
That's as good as you ever see. What do you call it? His left foot running away from the goals.
Wrong side for a left footed kicker and all. Paul Hearn, a great kick there, sides level again. 13 points now for St. Lomans, 2 goals and 7 for Tyrrellspass. Almost 4 3/4 minutes gone in this opening period of extra time. The kick out is hit in the direction of Thomas Ryan. Thomas doesn't get it to his hands at the first time, but his referee deems him to be fouled, and the free for Tyrrellspass back there just outside their own 45 metre line. Dennis Lennon is on the ball again. Dennis comes forward with it. Couple of players making dummy runs. Dennis holds the possession, steps inside. Conor O'Donoghue still has the possession. There's a man spare down on this side of the field. Adam Flanagan's in a lot of space. Adam, is he going to back himself? He certainly is. Takes the kick. It's a fabulous kick, and it's off the inside of the upright over the bar. What a
off
kick
the outside of his boot. That was
beautiful kick there. Absolutely, we're after seeing a couple of fabulous scores from both sides here, as teams are getting tired and everything else. Ronan O'Toole, and that time from Adam Flanagan, just backed themselves, stopped, had a look, took the shot off the outside of the boot and just clipped the inside of the upright and over the bar. Great score, and Tyrrellspass back into the lead again. 2 goals and 8 points for Tyrrellspass. It's 14-13 for St. Lomans. Through the hands it goes over there, and Paddy Dowdle coming forward with it. Paddy looking for the runner off the shoulder. The man that comes off the shoulder there is the number 20, Enda Gaffney. Young player Enda gives it off to Ronan O'Toole. Ronan comes inside, was being fouled, went to ground there and draws the free there.
Ronan wasn't very influential in the second half, but really stood up now in this period of extra time. He's getting on a lot of ball, running at Tyrrellspass, causing him a lot of problems.
This free is inside the 45 metre line. Is John Heston, the man is coming out to take it. Side trailing by the solitary point here now as John ready to take this kick. This one is more central. John will swing it with the right foot. John taking his time now. Has a look at the post. Sticks with his routine as he comes forward, and with the right foot kicks it high. He's going very high. The umpire is looking up at it, and it's over the bar. Great kick there from the captain, John Heston. Lovely score, sides level again. 6 3/4 minutes gone in this opening period of extra time. Darren Quinn making his way to the 20-metre line. Again, using all his experience this time, looks up and pings the ball out here in the direction of David Lynham. Goes off David's fingers, and Conor Donoghue steps in for the breaking ball and gives it on now to Kevin Regan. Kevin gives it off now to Sam McCartan. Sam holds the possession. Stephen Quinn is trying to hold him up. Gives a nice ball inside, and Peter Foy is on it again, slowing it right down. Gives it on here to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin coming lateral again. Conor Donoghue has it again. Again, high, dangerous, lazy tackle there by Aaron O'Brien, and that's the kind of tackle that, you know, I think it's lazy, it's dangerous. It's almost a clothesline tackle. We're going to have a look at it again, but it's you know, no attempt to make a tackle. Just grab the player by the collar of the shirt.
And particularly in the position of the field, like, you know, you're better off just standing them up, trying to get them to turn it around, move the ball back, and you know, you got a yellow card for that. Some people here in front of me think he's fortunate, but you know, look, there's been a couple of those in the games. I think Fall has done a couple of on the other team as well, and you know, sometimes, you know, player can dip into you as well, and it can make that tackle challenging.
Calvin Riley takes the free here, but to nobody in particular there, and it's intercepted there well by the Tyrrellspass men back on their own 45-metre line. And Dennis Lennon now has the ball, and Dennis charging down, coming out from his sweeper position. He's on the St. Lomans 65, has support over there with Jerry Egan. Jerry, lovely fisted pass over to the far side where Tyrrellspass hold the possession there. Cormac Rigney was on the play there, and the ball comes in, and the shot coming in there, but again a little bit aimless and a little bit lazy. But it's very hard to criticise the players because they're tired. 68 minutes of football played at this stage, and the short kick out from St. Lomans again. Jason Daly to Conor Donoghue, and Enda Gaffney back on the possession then, and Enda gives it off to Peter Foy, and Peter has time to look up and see a man in a lot of space over there and coming forward. Certainly the pace of the play has slowed down here. Paddy Dowdle with the ball, and through the hands it goes from St. Lomans. Kevin Regan has it, and now it's David Whelan. David looks up and sees that Conor Donoghue is in space over here on this side, and he finds him with a little flick off the outside of the right foot, and Conor picks it up. Remember, the man that was fouled for the final free there runs into a heavy tackle, gives the ball back. David Whelan takes control of it with Kevin Regan. Kevin with the possession now, looks up and sees that Peter Foy is coming into a lot of space there, and Peter gets the ball over as far as Paddy Dowdle over on the far side of the field. Ball moved back in by Paddy Dowdle in centre. Ronan O'Toole is back now with the ball, trying to inject a little bit of pace on it. Takes on his man there, that's Jamie Corcoran, being pulled, but the referee allows the play to go on. Ronan has the advantage. He holds the play up, holds the ball, gives it back to Peter Foy, and St. Lomans trying to build down that right side again, but Peter comes centre, gives it inside to Fola. Fola off quick hands to David Whelan. David fisted ball inside, gets it in to Kevin Regan. Kevin backs himself with the left foot, takes a shot. That's a fabulous score there from the substitute there.
Very well worked score from, you know, I mean, from a kick out almost, worked it over and back. Conor Donoghue very, very involved in that. He's picking up a huge amount of ball in this extra time, and he's really kind of, you know, creating a bit of a platform for Lomans to build off.
Kick out by Darren Quinn, and that is, I think, the last action of the first half of extra time. 1 point between the sides, and St. Lomans 15, Tyrrellspass 2 goals and 8 points, that's 14. And we're going down to have a word with Paul and Alan again.
Yeah, we're back here in TEG Cusick Park. We're gone into extra time here, Alan, and St. Lomans have just pulled away. There were Kevin Regan with a late score there, just probably the last kick and a half, and it's still as exciting as it was towards the end of the game, and it's still in the melting pot, I suppose, Alan, as well.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be very close now. The next few minutes is going to tell it. The next 3 or 4 minutes will probably tell a tale. If Lomans can get the next score, it might be just a little bit too hard with Tyrrellspass, because a lot of them running on sort of empty tanks there at the minute to pull back 2 points. But if Tyrrellspass can get the next score, this is going to be the important score, I think.
An awful lot of lads cramping up there as well, which is only understandable after 70 minutes of football, I suppose. And the pace that this game has been played, it's something we probably expected. It's probably going to be the legs now, Alan. Who has the fitter team? Who has the fitter bench? Who has the people that are going to be still able to keep going for the next 10 minutes? I suppose that's going to play a huge part in this.
Yeah, it probably looks like I'd say you're probably going to see a lot of the lads that are already after been taken off maybe coming back on again, because let's be honest about it, there isn't 25 lads in both clubs able to play in a senior county final, so you're going to look at maybe 3 or 4 lads that were already playing maybe coming back in. But it's as you said already, it's an intriguing encounter, and it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, and I still wouldn't like to call it, Alan. I did go for Lomans at the start, but there when Tyrrellspass got that goal late in the game, thought I was going to eat my words, but somehow they managed to get back into it, and now they're leading by 15 points to 2-8. It's 15 scores to 10, which is another telling statistic. 2 goals that Lomans conceded. The only 2 goals that Tyrrellspass have scored this year, Alan.
Yeah, the only 2 goals, but listen, as they say, goals wins matches, so it hasn't worked out that way just yet. But if you were told at the start of the day that one team was going to score 2 goals, you probably would have thought it would have been Lomans that would have scored them. But listen, so be it. We're in here now with 10 minutes to go here now. Once again, the couple of scores. Adam Flanagan scored an outrageous point there in the start of that half, and the same with Ron O'Toole. So we might be seeing a world of scores, but some of the scores that we are seeing are just breathtaking.
Is it going to go to penalties, Alan?
To be honest, I wouldn't like to see any final go to penalties.
I wouldn't agree.
I don't think it's right. I think maybe, but like you have 2 or 3 of those lads out there today that are going to be playing in the senior final next weekend for Clunkill, so it's unfair to ask them probably to go again as well. So
you're hoping for penalties. So as a Castletown man, you're hoping for penalties. That these boys will be worn out.
Penalties is not going to tire them boys out.
We still have all to play for here. So in TG Cusack Park, St. Lomans 15 points, Tyrrellspass 2-8. The first period of extra time is over. We're into the second period now. The few that are here have been treated to an absolute worldly of a game here. It has been intriguing from the throw into now. We're going to pass you back to our commentary team of Ray Gavin and Paul Ahern to bring us to the last 10 minutes, hopefully we don't need to go to the spot kicks. Go back to Ray.
Back here on commentary again as I said, Lomans team break. They're the first team to break. You know, Declan Kelly has the last couple of words with his side, and certainly it's down to the 15 players now on the field, Paul, and you know they're getting tired. You know, look, we said it here before in one game when I think we had the extra time going on. We hope somebody doesn't lose this game, that if somebody is going to win it, that it's a quality score, not a mistake or whatever that wins the game.
Yeah, no, I think, look, I mean, you know, you'd hate to see anyone make a mistake that loses the game for them, but, you know, Lomans they're a little bit in the driving seat, they're a point up. I'd expect to see Ron O'Toole and John Heslin picking up and coming out and getting on an awful lot of ball, trying to create opportunities to push it on. I think from a Tyrrellspass point of view, I think Dennis Lennon has gone centre forward now, so they've pushed him up the field, they've rolled that dice, and looking to get him closer up the field to get those scores. Jerry Egan needs to get his hands on the ball from a Tyrrellspass point of view and start knocking a few balls over the bar also.
Yeah, I think I see a sub on there as well as Cahill. Dunn is the man that's come on. I think it's Aaron O'Brien the man he's replaced, and straight away from the throw in, Ronan O'Toole on the ball, and the Lomans coming forward with it as well, and the ball is with Sam McCartan. Sam holds the possession, gives it back as far as Kelvin Riley. Kelvin over to Conor Donoghue on the far side of the field. Conor just holds it up, left-handed fisted pass into Sean Flanagan. Sean coming forward, throws a dummy and steps away from his man. Kelvin Riley is the man that's there beside him to take that pass. Kelvin in a little bit of space, holds the possession. Again, St. Lomans trying to manufacture some. Ronan O'Toole is the man on the ball. Looks up and sees that Kevin Regan is in a little bit of space. Kevin scored a point just before half time. He's coming forward with the left foot, but unfortunately didn't steady himself that time and didn't get the accuracy, and the ball is out over the end line, and the first wide of the second period of extra time. Almost a full minute gone as Darren Quinn comes out to the 20 metre line, puts the ball down, has a look out. Kenneth Leonard, just looking over there, Paul has filtered back into his sweeper roll, but a great kick out there from Darren Quinn. Gets the ball over on the far side, and Jamie Gnu charging forward. He's fouled by John Heslin, and a free for Tyrrellspass, taken inside to Nigel Hart, and Nigel with Dennis on his shoulder gets the word to go ahead himself, and he comes forward and then just holds the ball, gives it back to Adam Flanagan. Adam got a lovely score there as well in the regular time now as Dennis comes forward. He's on the said St. Lomans 45-metre line, uses Adam Flanagan in support, and over to the far side it goes. It's the goal scorer. There's Evan Connell. Evan takes on Conor Dunn, can't get by him, but Tyrrellspass have the possession, still retain it, nice and patient. Ball given inside here, an opportunity here, but again good tackling here by the St. Lomans men. Ball bottled up there, could have been a possibility of an over carry, but the shot comes in from Thomas Ryan. That's a high kick, but unfortunately for Thomas, not on target there. But certainly the St. Lomans backs still using plenty of energy and closing down Jerry Egan there.
Yeah, they're getting around him when he gets possession and bottling him up. He's not getting a yard of space, and he's just not being able to get any shots off. And that was an opportunity for Tyrrellspass though.
Yeah, Jason Daly with the kick out, goes route one down the centre, well grabbed there by Fola Irendi. Fola did brilliantly, I think he got the free, not only the mark, and he takes it quickly, gives it on to Ronan O'Toole. Ronan coming central. Again, Tyrrellspass defence slips across with him, but he has a little bit of space and time to get the shot away. He was under target, he curled it in, but unfortunately for Ronan, didn't just get enough curl on it there. And we can see players are getting tired, Paul. They're snatching at opportunities there now, and we're almost 3 minutes into the 10 minutes, and there's players are dropping with cramps now as well. And
fatigue sets in, and that really affects your decision making. And I think the team that just has that bit more control, bit more patience, creates the opportunities, works hard, more disciplined in their tackles. That's what it's going to come down to in these last few minutes.
Yeah, the Tyrrellspass man making his way off. It's Adam Flanagan, the number 11, coming off, and a very experienced player coming off the bench, and Philip Sheridan. Philip, a veteran of a couple of championship triumphs for Tyrrellspass, and he's gone making his way over into the right half forward position as Darren Quinn stands over this kick out and takes a short run up and drives it out. Great ball, broken down. Ronan O'Toole is onto the break in front of Nigel Hart, gives the ball into John Hesson. John takes the ball on the run, has a look at the post. It's high off.
It's a great score.
Paul Heron. Yeah, this man has kicked some fabulous points, none more so than that one.
Yeah, no, that was lovely, and he's coming out deeper and playing off Ronan O'Toole, and the two of them are just getting on the ball, combining well, and that gives Lomans a 2-point lead, and we're kind of back to where we were in the last 5 minutes of regular time. Tyrrellspass need to get up and score a goal, and Lomans just need to get possession and be a bit more controlled and close the game out.
Yeah, again, nice kick out there by Darren Quinn, finds his man out there, and Tyrrellspass in possession, charging forward is Nigel Hart, and Nigel is fouled. The last time it was a 2-point lead, we know what happened. This time the free is taken by Philip Sheridan. This route one's dropping in. Lomans men break it down. It's a boot. The Tyrrellspass, I think Steve McNicholl is under that there. He's pleading his case in there because he thought he was being fouled, and the ball was loose in there for a second, Paul, and Lomans just about scrambled that one away.
They were very, very lucky there. I mean, it looked like actually Dean was pulled to the ground, and could have been a penalty, but game is on.
And David Whelan flicks the ball over to Conor Donoghue over on the far side. Conor driving forward as he has all through the game. Great play there by the number 7. Has Kevin Regan in support. Kevin plays a nice ball back as far as Conor Donoghue. Clock said we're halfway through the second period of extra time. 5 minutes gone. St. Lomans holding the possession. Kelvin Riley comes in to take it from his teammate, and then just returns the ball again. Nice play there from the St. Lomans men, nice and calm over there on the far side of the field, and hold that possession, have the men available for the pass. One of them is Paddy Dowdle. Paddy almost fooled himself there with that money jinx, but comes forward, holds the possession, fisted ball back as far as Fola with the ball, holding up and trying to draw the Tyrrellspass men out onto him, then trying to create a little bit of space in over the top. David Whelan comes forward, a little bit of burst of pace on David, and in a little bit of space over on the far side of the field. It's a ball threaded through. John Hesson is on the spin around. John takes it on the turn, takes the shot. The umpire, I think, is going to signal this one has gone to the left of the post and just wide there, a let off for Tyrrellspass, but certainly John took that ball on the turn and did very well, but the shot unfortunately not on target. Darren Quinn, we haven't time to draw a breath here. He's taking the kick out, taking it quickly off to Dennis Lennon, who's now on the ball again. Dennis coming forward, little pass on here to Nigel Hart, but again Tyrrellspass men getting tired there. Couple of players there making mistakes there, but luckily after all that pinging around the centre of the field, the Tyrrellspass men have the possession again, and they're building here again, and they have it now with Nigel Hart. Nigel crosses the St. Lomans 65 metre line, gives it back. Nigel with a wild kick is dropping over there on the far side, broken down, but possession still with Tyrrellspass. Brian Slevin coming forward. Brian, was he fouled? Knows at the referee. Gives the ball over towards David Lynham, and a handling error by David there. Kelvin Riley is over there to win the possession back. Kelvin in a lot of space, showing huge fitness there as he drives forward, holding the possession, waiting for a man to make a run. The man that makes a run is Kevin Regan. Kevin gives it to Ronan O'Toole. 3 Tyrrellspass men in front of him. Again, Kelvin is on the possession again, gives it inside. Fisted pass into Fola. Fola thought about taking the score. John Heston looping around. So is Ronan O'Toole. He's sniping in there as well, and he takes a shot. And the resigned look on Darren Quinn there as that ball came in and over the bar. A lovely score there from Ronan O'Toole at a crucial time. But certainly we're almost 7.5 minutes gone in this second period of extra time. St. Lomans now 3 points ahead, 17 points to 2 goals and 8 points. That's 14 for Tyrrellspass, and they have the ball again, trying to work it up through Jerry Egan. He's a man on it, but Jerry is back inside his own 65. Tyrrellspass need to come forward. Jamie Ganood comes into the line, gives a nice ball over on the far side, and the ball fired in long. It's a dangerous ball. It's dropping in front of Dean McNicholas again. Ball broken down, doesn't go to anyone in particular. The ball wasn't touched on the ground.
Free.
No, in fact, he's given the free in. The foul committed there. Foul on Thomas Ryan.
Those
I think
high
it was
balls into the Lomans full back line are causing them an awful lot of problems, and Tyrrellspass are just too slow getting up after it. And they've got an opportunity now with 2 minutes to go. Put this over the bar, and then it's a 2-point game. Could we get another last minute goal?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd be breathless.
We'll be here in the light. We'll be here in the dark if it goes to that. But it was Philip Sheridan, the man that got that free for his side here. But we'll watch as Jerry Egan with the chance. I'm sure he'll take the point at this stage. Put 2 between the sides, and that's exactly what Jerry does. Taps it over the bar, just narrows the gap. There's a sub coming in for St. Lomans. That's number 19, Sean Kelly.
Conor Donoghue's coming off.
Conor Donoghu, the man number 7,
to come off. He looks absolutely shattered.
He's put in a huge effort for his side. Almost 9 minutes gone into the last minute of the injury time. I'd say it again, Paula Hearn, a 2-point lead is a dangerous lead.
It couldn't happen again. I think Lomans probably learned from the first half, and if they can get possession, I think they'll try.
Ball is kicked out. Who's on the breaking ball? Dennis Lender's on the breaking ball. Is there a chance for St. Lomans? Good tackling in there. The foul commit. No, it's not. Nigel Hart has the ball. They're going forward again. I think at this stage, if we get a goal, that will be a crucial one. Opportunity here for Tyrrellspass. They're taking the point. The shot comes in. Oh, that's a terrible way miss there. What an opportunity. Really could have given us a grand
he was cutting through. He had way load of space in front of him. He could have just kept going, fisted it over the bar.
The number 13 there with that opportunity, I think it was.
It was, yeah, and it would have brought it to a 1-point game. Last play of the game coming up probably, and that was a great opportunity.
Yeah, Jason Daly, he's in absolutely no hurry with the kick out. Going route 1, launching it out here. Fola is trying to get under. Ball hits off a Tyrrellspass hand, broken down. Goes off the boot of the St. Lomans man and out over the sideline, down the tunnel, the whole lot there. Tyrrellspass in a hurry to get it back. Jerry Egan with the line ball back to Dennis Lenn. The clock has gone 6 seconds into injury time at the end of the 10 minutes. We'll watch as Michael Geraghty has the ball. Michael trying to take on his man. Does very well, holds the possession, gives it back around. Dennis has it again. There is a man in space over on the far side. Can they work it over to him? St. Lomans trying to squeeze him. Stephen Quinn is on the ball again, gives it inside. Don't know what the signal is from the referee, but the ball is now with Nigel Hart. Nigel coming forward, tackled hard, forced away by good work by Peter Foy. Holds the possession, gives the ball inside. Who's onto it? It's David Lydon that's onto it. David gives it into Thomas Ryan. Thomas on a little bit of space, launches a high ball. It's dropping in. It's a dangerous one. Up they go. Goes off the fist, I think, of Paddy Dowdle. It's going very close to the line, very close to the end line. It's a line ball. It's almost like a corner kick. Clock says we're a minute into injury time. Last opportunity for Tyrrellspass. Jerry Egan is going to take this line ball. He goes short. Was there a push on the back on the Tyrrellspass man? There was, said the referee. This free just moved in that little bit closer. Jerry at this stage has to go quick and has to go short with it. Tyrrellspass have it. Nigel Hart drops it in. It's the last throw. The dice is high, it's wide. Oh, it's gone over the end line. It's wide.
It surely must be it now.
We're a minute and a half almost into additional time at the end of the second period of extra time. Nigel Hart, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to drop it into the square there and see if somebody could get a fist on it or whatever, but just travelled a little bit too far here, and all the St. Lomans mentors down here, down below us, making their way out. And in fact, the referee Pat Fox has signalled that we're going to have no more for the championship for 2020, because St. Lomans are the champions on a final scoreline of 17 points to St. Lomans, to a gallant Tyrrellspass, 2 goals and 9 points, 2 between them at the end, Paul. And you know, we got what we hoped for. We got a tight game, we got an exciting game. Nobody lost. There was no crucial mistakes at the very end, but a great win for St. Lomans.
No, fantastic win for St. Lomans, and you know, I suppose just their ability to pop the ball over the bar. You know, Ron O'Toole, John Heslin scored, you know, quite a number of points both from play and frees. That probably got them over the line in the end. You know, Tyrrellspass had to work that much harder for their scores, and you know, it still could have been in the mix there at the end if that last point went over. Then Jerry Egan would have had a free to draw it, and we could be looking at penalties. And it just shows you, you know, when you get those opportunities in scoring zones, you have to be controlled, particularly when things get tight at the end, be able to take your opportunities. But you know, credit St. Lomans, you know, they were very, very controlled and organised the whole way through the game. Tyrrellspass were very, very measured in their approach. Any opportunities they got, they took their scores. You know, they got that goal right at the end, thought they might have won it, and but we ended up, John Heslin scoring a great point to tie it up, and then in extra time they just took their opportunities that little bit better than Tyrrellspass.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Thanks very much for being on co-commentary here with me today. Really enjoyed it here for the 2 games, but we're going to go. We're going to ads, and then we'll hear from the lads down the field, and hopefully hear from some of the St. Lomans camp as well after the presentation of the trophy. We go to ads now.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shemarta Precast.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. If I ain't got you, ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like, baby. You don't know what it's like.
All new Renault Capture SUV for all your lives.
Yeah, it's all over here in TEG Cusick Park, Alan. After 80 minutes of football, St. Lomans have prevailed in a scoreline of 17 points to 2-9, and probably in the end they were just deserving of it in that extra time period. Yeah, a lot of players were running out of steam there, it has to be said, and it was Lomans that finished the better. Alan Tyrrellspass really struggled and kicked a couple of awful wides, let's be honest about it, in that extra time period when they needed it.
Over to the tunnel, please. And indeed the Tyrrellspass lads as well.
Penalty shout, maybe? Yeah, look at all you want is a bit of fairness. You can't really argue with that, I suppose. And the bottom line of it all is 2 points of a win. It wasn't completely one-sided. It was 2 points of a win, and St. Lomans, after losing the last two finals, I suppose they'll claim redemption today.
Yeah, that was probably one. That was probably playing on their minds.
I think everybody here.
I know they won 3 in a row, but then they're after losing 2 in a row. This is coming in today where they could have possibility of maybe losing 3 in a row. So it was a difficult one for them to overcome that as well. But you'd feel for Tyrrellspass in a situation like this. They poured their hearts into the first 60 minutes, and unfortunately, just near the end there, maybe legs just gave in on them.
Yeah, and while we're cogitating on that, Alan, we're going to go to the presentation of the Flanagan Cup here. John Hesselin is going to be presented with the trophy here just in front of the stand, so we'll transfer over to the acceptance of the trophy.
I have a few people to thank, so if you bear with me. First of all, we'd like to thank the Shea Murta Group for their generous sponsorship of our Senior Football Championship. I'd like to thank all the groundsmen and stewards who've catered for everything over a very difficult couple of months and having Cusack Park in a magnificent state. I'd also like to thank all the people in ERV TV, especially our Piero O'Doney and his team, for keeping everyone in touch with our games despite the difficulties of numbers coming to games. So well done, lads. I'd like to thank Pat Fox and his team of officials for a job very well done. Well done, Pat. And even though it's very little consolation to you today, I'd say to every Tyrrellspass person here and around the county and around the world, you can be seriously proud of your team. They were absolutely magnificent today. Now, I know I shouldn't do this. It's not customary, but I have a couple of people I'd like to just give a special mention to. First of all, I'd like to give a special man who epitomises Westmeath GAA, the best of Westmeath GAA, in both codes. I've been watching him for 20 years and we've lost count of the number of senior football and hurling medals he has, and he was magnificent yet again today. Paddy Dowdle. And there's another great man here today who's beside me, and I want to give him the press man of the match, to John Hesselin. But today is St. Lomans Day. After a couple of years of disappointments, you're back at top of the tree in Westmeath football. So well done, lads, and without further ado, I'd like to present the Flanagan Cup to the St. Lomans captain, John Hesselin.
Thank you very much, Billy. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much to Tyrrellspass. Serious game. We've battled through tough times over the last number of years, and I say thank you very much, and you deserve a massive round of applause. So thank you very much and hard luck today. I'm a man of few words, as the lads would know, so I'm not going to stay up here for too long. I'm going to thank everyone that's out there, everyone that's wearing blue watching the game. Thank you very much for training everyone that's out there today, everyone that's contributed the smallest little piece, because that's what it takes, and everyone knows that. So if you feel that you've contributed a little bit, we thank you. We thank you, because not everyone gets thanks, and it's because of you people, you volunteers, that we're up here today. It's been a tough year on everyone with all the restrictions that are in place. So it's great that we're able to play a game of football today and bring this home with us. Before I get off, I'd like to thank the management. Declan and all the lads came in after us getting to 2 finals in a row and losing them. I'd like to thank you very much for all the time and effort you've put in through blood, sweat and tears to get us back up here today. I sincerely thank you very much, and a round of applause for you boys. And then to finish thanking everybody else, I'd like to thank all those people that can't be with us here today. There's plenty of them throughout the club who are smiling down upon us to bring us over the line. And I thank each and every one of them, and I hope they're proud to see us up here lifting this trophy today. And a round of applause for all of them as well. Billy thanked the referee, the county board, all of you people deserve a serious round of applause as well. ERV TV, it's been fantastic to be able to watch the club game. Every game that's been in the championship this year has been fantastic to watch, and it's been great to be able to watch it. So I thank everyone involved in the county board that's been able to produce that as well. Fair play to all of you. Now, I'm going to wrap it up by thanking each and every one of you lads out there. Thank you very much for letting me get up here and lift this trophy for you boys. And it's for ye, we're lifting this. All the hard work you put in! Yeah! Woo!
It's the press up there.
Him. We didn't pick him. Yeah, we're back here. So celebrations for St. Lomans. John Heston just after lifting the Flanagan Cup here, Alan. And I suppose if anybody deserves to lift the Flanagan Cup, it's John Heston. He's put in a huge effort for club and county over the last number of years.
Yeah, listen, he's a fantastic footballer. He gave a right good speech. You saw there how much it meant to him. But listen, it's tough times on everyone here at the moment in terms of COVID-19 and how things are going. But it's a pity that someone had to lose here today. Like if you look at, say, and everyone knows I'm friends with Dennis Glennon, but his performance today was second to none.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I know John Heston got man of the match, but if Tyrrellspass had won, you know what I mean, Dennis Glennon would have been man of the match.
I think even the Tyrrellspass didn't win, he was still my man of the match. Maybe Conor O'Donoghue as well. I have to give special mention to him. I thought he was exceptional, number 7 for St. Lomans. I thought he was incredible. I thought Ronan O'Toole stood up, as you said, when the chips were down. He really measured up. But Tyrrellspass had a lot of heroes as well there. Just came out the wrong side of it. Very, very unfortunate for them. But such is the game. Somebody has to win it, Alan.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, listen, Hess was absolutely outstanding as well. You know what I mean? Like he kicked that last free. Now there's not too many lads in Ireland that would step up and kick that free.
We said that at the time.
Draw. So listen, you go to a situation where it wasn't our decision to pick man of the match. The press had that decision, but there was 3 or 4 outstanding performances. Like as I said, Hess, Dennis Glennon, Paddy Dowdle, Conor O'Donoghue was excellent as well. So there was a number
Whelan,
of lads.
I suppose,
David Whelan was excellent.
Adam Flanagan for Tyrrellspass.
Adam Flanagan was very good. You know, there was a number of lads who could have got man of the match there today, but unfortunately, listen, they had to pick someone, and that's just the way it goes, isn't it? It's Lomans Day today. They've been the kingpins of Westmeath football. I know they didn't win the last 2, but they've been thereabouts for the last 2 as well.
Yeah, and then of course a new manager this week. We're going to go over and talk to him. Declan Kelly, manager of the St. Lomans team. He's been interviewed here by Ray Gavin here beside us.
Declan, have you any fingernails left, Declan?
Very, very little. Very, very little right at the end of that. No, I suppose it was looking like we were over the line with a couple of minutes to go, and then obviously the goal. And in fairness to the lads, they worked the free up the far end of the field, and John got it over the bar to bring us extra time. Yeah.
I think I said on commentary during the game, come at the hour, come at the man.
Without a shadow of a doubt, like this, with those situations, like I suppose you go back here, leaders and guys to step up and make it such a serious pressure free. Like it wasn't an easy angle, and John normally does. Julie obliges. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, it was a team effort. Lads laid it out in the line for you there. You must have been delighted with their commitment all through that.
Yeah, listen, in fairness to the lads, like, it was a tough, hard game. Like I don't know, to watch, I suppose it was probably very defensive oriented. It was hard to break down. Like it wasn't probably as free flowing as you would have liked. But that's sort of the way modern football has gone. With a lot of
bodies in there trying to get scores, and the hits and the prospects at run, and that's just the way it is. And you may be prepared to get in and get stuck in, but you're not going to get easy frees out there. And in fairness, seeing those lads cramping up there near the end of the game, understandable too, really.
A huge effort put in by every one of those players, and a word for Tyrrellspass, they really put it up to you today.
They were excellent, to be honest. We knew that coming in anyway. There's some very good footballers there, and to be fair, I would say full time was probably a fair result in relation to a draw, and we just have to kick a couple in the last half of extra time just to get over the line. It was very, very little in at the end of the game again.
Declan, your first year involved with Westmeath football, 1 out of 1. Can't get much better than that.
Oh no, in fairness, listen, I was delighted to be asked at the end of last year to come over to Lomans, and I'd be very welcome over there from the beginning of the year. And I said it has been a difficult year, I suppose, for everybody, and to get out and play a bit of ball this year was great, to be honest. And obviously to win it then tops it all for the whole club. Really, it's been a great year for them.
Declan, you've been an absolute gentleman to us here on ERV TV before every game that we've covered for you. So I want to thank you from us and congratulate you and the club on your fine victory here today.
Thanks very much. Listen, I think the live games have been great for people. Families at home there today, and they're all looking on, and all people in Offaly looking on, and it's great that the service is available for people at home to watch the games. Thanks very much to you as well.
Declan, we'll let you go and join the celebration. Thanks very much for joining us here on ERV TV.
Yeah, Declan Kelly, the winning manager there for St. Lomans. A happy man, his first year in charge at the Winner Flanagan Cup, I suppose, Alan. You can't ask for more of a manager than that.
No, absolutely. He's brought him to do a job and he done it.
Yeah, and he did it with vastly the same amount of players as they've had over a number of years. Maybe a couple of little tweaks here and there. Rory Sheehan, I suppose, come in there, and Ryan Jones maybe, and Peter Foy, yeah.
Yeah, listen,
but he blended them well together. Let's be honest with that.
And they played a good style of football. You're looking at them you're looking at them lads throughout the year now, and it's like they played with each other for the last 10 years, But I see lads standing here in front of me, Paddy Dowdle picking up his 14th championship medal here today, senior championship medal. It's not just championship medal,
Mickey Mouse
senior
medals,
championship medal, and it can't be underestimated how massive an achievement it is for that medal haul.
Speaking of Paddy Dowdle, we're going to go over to him himself and Folloyer Indy and John Heslin here, who are just going to be interviewed here by Ray here. We're going to have a few words from the boys, and congratulations to them.
I'm joined here now by 3 members of the victorious team. First of all, the captain, John Heslin. John, a huge game, an absolutely great effort from you guys, but Tyrrellspass really put it to you.
Yeah, no, serious effort. We're obviously thrilled to get the victory, but it was a seriously tight game. We knew that it was going to be, every final is that way, they're not easily won. So we're just delighted to get the victory. Everyone that was out there really put in a serious effort.
Look, we can't move away from you without talking about that last minute kick. It was a last minute, it was a pressure game. I said on the commentary, come with the hour, come with the man. It was a pressure kick, and you really delivered for your team.
Yeah, look, that's probably my role. I expect the other lads to keep the Tyrrellspass forwards out of danger, so the lads expect me to kick that over. So that's what all the practice is for, and thankfully it went over today. So just great to be in the position to kick it. And if I wasn't there, someone else will do it, and they'll do it the next day.
Look, I know you're a very modest fella, you always have been, John. And look, we'll move across here to your right, and the midfielder, Fola, you're on the. And Fola, you had a massive game out there, took some woeful hits and gave some woeful hits, but you must be delighted with that victory here today.
Happy with the win. All I can say is that we worked hard, and when it came down to the dogging, we did the job. It was a battle in midfield, so it was tough for everyone. So we got the win in the end.
Yeah, there was a lot of hits going in there, a lot of big men bodies on the line there, and Tyrrellspass crowded out around the centre. They made it very difficult for you to get the ball up into the inside line.
We know the hits were going to be big. The final's a final at the end of the day. So Tyrrellspass, they brought it to us the last time we played them. They changed their game, and they brought it to us today. And congrats to Tyrrellspass for giving us such a good game.
Look at again, great words from Foley there, and I'm going to go to Paddy Dowdle. Paddy, you must be nearly getting fed up winning medals now at this stage, Paddy, are you?
How would you get fed up with that, Ray? No, never fed up with that.
Hello, Joe.
No,
Joe,
great forms from the team. They were from goalkeeper to the men that come on, fantastic performance. Worked right to the death, which is what it's all about. It's never over till it's over. And John's point there in the last minute there, fantastic.
as I said, the man in the right place at the right time to put the ball over the bar. But you have to turn around now, Paddy, and get ready for another county final in a week's time. But I had to remind you that, though, don't I?
I'll worry about that tomorrow, Ray.
Right, I'm sure Pat had told me hoping you'll go too easy on the old beer now later on tonight. But look at lads, I'll just finish up with a word from John here. Your new management came into position this year, and it was a funny year, John. You said it on your speech here. It has been a funny year, but Declan is a great man. I know him personally from his time over in Offaly, and he's a great manager.
Declan, Plunky, Kieran Murray as well, and Alan Bracken. The whole lot of them. Gary Devine, P Devine. We have a serious lot of volunteers there that have really put in a serious effort to get us over the line this year. We've been here the last couple of years, and that was credit to Luke Dempsey and his team. But thankfully, Declan came in and freshened things up, and we got the victory, which is most important.
I'll let you go and join the rest of your teammates. Congratulations to the three. A great effort from you, and congratulations for the end of 2020 and a victory for yourselves in St. Lomans. Thanks, lads.
Yeah, the winning words there from the winning team. John Heslin there, Foley Indy, and Paddy Dowdall, his 14th county title. An absolute thrill for him to win that 14th county title. And I suppose, Alan, from your Castletown point of view, you hope he doesn't win a 15th next Sunday.
Oh, I definitely hope he doesn't win a 15th next Sunday. But sure, listen, that medal haul will never be matched. As long as we live, I can't see anyone winning
I have to agree
that
with
many
you.
senior hurling and football medals. And he's been a credit to both clubs and to the county. In fairness to him, people tend to forget he soldiered a lot of years with Westmeath hurlers as well. So listen, massive medal haul, but I hope it comes to an end today.
Okay, well, that's it from us here from TEG Cusack Park on county final day. The Flanagan Cup is heading out the Delvin Road to the St. Lomans Mullingar team after 2 final defeats. They've eventually claimed redemption. They're back in the winners' podium. They've won the title. John Heslin has lifted the trophy here. It's been a long, long day, but it's been a very enjoyable day and a wonderful, wonderful game of football here to finish off our footballing season. We'll be back here with you on ERV TV next week on Saturday and Sunday for our county hurling finals here. But from us here in ERV TV, we wish you a very good weekend. Congratulations to St. Lomans, County Senior Football Champions 2020. The year of COVID is the year of the Blues, and they are champions. We'll see you again here next week from ERV TV, from Alan Mangan and myself, from Ray Gavin and Paula Ahern on co-commentary. We'll say good night and God bless, and hopefully we'll see you all again here next week. Thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.